Starting a few minutes early. Hello! It's gonna be hot. Yep, too hot. Ow. Burn. Hey everyone. Showtime! Yay. I'm starting early for Colin. Because Colin wrote, what's the bet? It doesn't start early now that I'm ready. Well, there you go. Ooh, I forgot something. Hang on a second. I always forget to take my solder paste out of the fridge on a stream morning. It needs to get to room temperature. Sound echo. Uh-oh. It's quite dark here. It's early. It's 6:20 in the morning. Yeah. How's everyone doing? Good morning, Julian. I actually tried typing good morning back to you and it auto-corrected it. That was really bad. So lots of people in the house already. Let's have a look and see who's here. Say hello to everyone. We've got Azzy, of course. Oh, I think you're always first. And Sim, how you doing? Hey James. Of course, Julian. Yes. Colin. We've got Charles. Is Charles new? I don't know. Maybe. If you are, welcome. If not, I apologise. CG Aces. Amos is up early. How'd you go yesterday, Amos? What's the news? I haven't looked on Twitter. I don't know. Watching you and Julian on a 200-inch projector. What? That is huge. Hey, Jaren. Hello, Gerald. And Tetraprint 3D. Woo! Hello. Dave Darko. Welcome, Dave. Just Dave. Embedded Hobbyist. Daniel Coates. Hello, Marco. Stephen Mott is here. Hello, Stephen. Andy Mouse. Okay, so you have been on before. Okay, I apologise. You know what? Early on when I was streaming, it was much easier to remember everyone, but it's getting a little bit harder. Hey, Mike. How you doing? Hey, Greg. Good morning. Have you finally stopped renovating? Have you settled down? Mr. Digicool Things? Hey, James. Mr. Andy Callaway. Are we having fun yet? I'm not having fun. I mean, you can all have fun. I can't say. And my week's been exciting, but it's not been fun. And I've got a pounding headache. We'll see how that goes on this morning. Hey, Tabletronics. Good morning. I started a bit early, like the last few weeks, so I'm just going to let it ease in, and I'll start properly at 6:30. Let people get in. Hello, Jean. First stream. Woohoo! Welcome. Good to have you here. Hello, Crazy Roops, and Mr. Granz is in the house. Good morning. You haven't caught a stream for a while? Oh, you've been late to the streams. That's right, you've been busy. Yeah, that's cool. Hello, Michael. We agreed on Michael, didn't we? Hey, Alex. Tiny LED Matrix. Oh, I don't know. I think my brain is starting to fizzle. Fizzle. That's okay. So, happy to be home this time. That's cool. Oh, Adam. Hello, Adam. Renovation's finished. Almost. No, you can't say it's finished and then say almost. It's either finished or it's not. Tenant now found. Get some nice income starting in June. Yes. Awesome. You can get back to making some projects. That'll be exciting. Hello. Is it Bud Ambergy? Ambergy, something. I don't know. Welcome. First time. Excellent. Congrats on my campaign. Thank you, CG Aces. Yes. I cannot believe I finally launched. When I said last week on my stream that something was exciting was happening this week, last week, I didn't believe it was going to happen. I honestly didn't believe it was going to happen, but it did. And it was a crazy, last 2-day rush to get it done. So, but I got it out. Like I wasn't even ready. Like, I still haven't got the repo up. Like I've almost got all of the hardware ready to go. And the last thing I want to do is release all the hardware files with either unclean schematics or don't have all the attributes in there and stuff. Like I need it. It's going to be tidied up and accurate. And yeah, my concentration's been split a little bit. So, but I'm getting there. The repo will go up very I shouldn't say very soon because I don't know what that means anymore. But it'll go up soon. Yes. Don't forget to like people. Hey, Jemmy. Yes, it's been a very good start to the campaign. Very happy. It's yeah. I'm happy to chat about it. I'll wait a bit more. Let some more people pop in first, because I have started early. I'm happy to talk about it. I'll keep it quite transparent. I always have. I've always kept everything transparent, so I'll keep this within the rules of what I can do according to my contract with Crowd Supply, obviously. But I'll be as transparent as I possibly am allowed to be on it. So I've been counting how many you've sold. Yeah, it's pretty easy to work out. I've had quite a few people pinging me going, "Oh, look at the number, look at the number." Yeah, you something was going to have to give, as I couldn't build. No. Yeah. Oh, hi, Ian. Sorry, I'm answering Ian's. Didn't say hi. Wonky connection. Who, me or you? I hope I don't have a wonky connection. Hey, James. I saw the thumbnail of your video, Jack. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm a bit worried to watch your latest video. Yeah, thumbnail looks bleak. Or the title, I meant. Title looks bleak, yeah. Have you tried restarting your computer, Adam? Sorry. Is that a Windows joke? Too soon? Hey, Adam. Hello. Thank you. Well, we'll call it a success when it gets to the end. We'll see how we go. But, yeah, so far so good. 3 more minutes and then I'll jump into it a bit more, because obviously more people are popping in. So, and I'd rather not have to repeat myself. Yeah. Can you walk through PC? But I'm very interested on power delivery. I will. I'll probably leave that till my next stream. Once the files are out, so you can all kind of grab them and play along as we're going. See, David's counting. People have been pinging me on Skype and Twitter and just email and just contacting me. I had someone SMS me. They're going, "Oh, look, you sold this many." Yeah. It's pretty cool that you can work it out from the pledge levels, which is great. I've obviously got a spreadsheet that got together that calculates everything for me, so I can see how many things I need to build. It's pretty crazy. I've got some. I can't get to it from here, but I've got my other. You can see it in the background. Just there, I've got my notebook. Whoop, whoop, yeah, there it is. I might go and read some numbers out from that later. It's David wrote a script. It's pretty funny. Yeah, we'll get to that. It's pretty funny. Pete, repeat. Walking across the bridge. Pete gets pushed off. Who is left? Pete, repeat. Pete got pushed off. Okay, too early in the morning for that, Jane. Too early in the morning for that. Hey, Hogcat. Hello. HMX is here. Hello. Yes, almost at 500. My last TinyPICO account. Yeah, it's 486 at the moment. It's it's down. Like obviously the mad rush happened at the start, and then now there is, it goes for like yesterday there was like a 5-hour block where there was just no movement at all, and then sometimes it pops up 3 or 4. Yours featured with 14,444 funded. It's calculated number available, total boards you've got to make. Sorry, lots of text I'm reading. It's running on an ESP and displaying the count on the LED screen. Oh, right. Okay, yes. No, I don't think Dave's done that, but maybe. That'd be cool. If you do it in MicroPython, that'd be good. So Matt and I were actually talking about building a thing, like a MicroPython counter for it, but, just for fun. But and to do it as a project for a tutorial. but I just because it good, like it'll talk about getting to the internet and grabbing data and parsing data and stuff. It would have been a really good tutorial project, um, but I got no time at the moment. Ah, right. So you say who's left would be repeat, and so you say it again. I get it. Okay. Too early in the morning for me, but I get it. Hello, Mr. Ludgate. Can you repeat that? Yes. Okay, 6:31. Let's start. Let's get going. Let's do it. Drink first. So yes, the campaign went a bit. Hey, Leo. The campaign started off crazy. So I like within the first 8 hours, between the first 8 and 10 hours, I knew I couldn't. There was no more hand assembly. It wasn't going to happen. Like I stopped. I haven't built a TinyPICO since the campaign started. There's just no point. Um, yes, and I knew. Hey, Graham, and I knew. Oh, hello, John. What's a pick? I'm so a pick person. Is there MicroPython for pick? No, there is not. I don't think there's a big enough pick to do it actually. Like I know that now that Microchip have pick, they're still working on the pick range, but I don't think there's anything big enough with enough memory to run MicroPython. Sorry. Yes, pick is so old school, isn't it, Julian? Whoops, too soon. Um, yeah, so like I started scrambling almost immediately. Again, looking at pick and place machines, and obviously as you all, well, most of you know, some of you are new here, but I think most of you will know that I've been obsessed with pick and place machines for quite a while, and always wanted one. And yes, so I started my journey on trying to find a pick and place machine, and we'll talk about that soon. Yes, Julian likes the pick processor. They're actually not too bad. They're a pain to code. Anyway, but they're pretty cool chips in terms of functionality, and Microchip have been modernizing them a bit, which is pretty cool. Free BSD runs on pick. Why wouldn't MicroPython? Does it? Seriously? Okay. I didn't know that. Which picks can run free BSD? Or then maybe possibly, but no one's done a port. Maybe you should jump on the MicroPython forums and fork it and maybe start working on a port. I don't know. Maybe if Matt turns up today, Matt Trentini, you can ping him about doing a pick port. I'm sure he'll say no. I'm sure he's too busy. Retro BSD runs on pick 32. Okay, I don't know enough about the larger picks to know how big they are and how much memory they've got. Those skipping score, that's 12,636 SMD parts to place. Thank you. How did you work that out? Based on how many parts, David? Have I mentioned how many parts are on a board? Oh, you can count them, right? On the picture. Okay, don't worry. Ignore me. Cool. So yes. So the reason I launched with the $100 target was I wanted to make it very clear. Yeah, I thought it was 29. Maybe I can't count. Oh, I wanted to make it clear that okay. So normally with the crowdfunding campaign, you have a target you need to reach for the campaign to be successful before everyone knows it's going to happen, right? Like on a Kickstarter, for instance, or even on a crowd supply campaign that's got, let's say, a target. Like if I were to set a target of $20,000, that means that until I hit $20,000, no one knows if the campaign's going to go ahead, right? And for me with TinyPICO, I was never not going to do it. Like if I only ever had, 50 TinyPICOs sold on crowd supply, I'd still make them and ship them, right? There was no minimum, and I didn't want to put zero. So, I discussed with them at just putting $100. So basically the first 3 or 4 backers would have pushed it over the success level. What I didn't think about was what the percentage was going to do. and I hate it. It looks silly. I think every time I see that number, I cringe a little bit inside. It was never my intent to make it look so big and silly anyway. But I can't change that value now, I don't think, anyway. It's possible pick. It's really asymmetry. Yeah, I just don't know how fast the picks are, and you need a lot of RAM to run MicroPython. Hey, Christopher. Yeah, I can't wait to ship orders. It feels like it's a really long time away. And look, I'll be honest with everyone here. My plan was always to ship early. I was never going to like the delivery times that are on there right now is a worst case scenario because obviously I need to ship everything to crowd supply. They need to pack and do all their stuff and ship out. So there's buffer there a whole long along the way because we have to. Um, but I'm hoping that I can, I have to be careful about part shipping because that chews up a lot of money. The cost of me shipping stuff from Australia to America is very expensive. So, and it's all done on weight and size. And so, because I'm actually pre-packing everything here and all the bags and everything, I'm not sending them just, hundreds of little tiny picos. Everything's like, as per the. Did everyone see my intro, my announcement video? Like I go through all the different packs and I show what the packs look like. What's inside them, but also what the packs look like. So there's a lot of size. Anyway, I'm hoping to ship early and at least some of the earlier backers can get their boards sooner. That'd be really awesome for me. Um, what would you set it to if you had time machine to go back and change it? I don't know. At least $1,000, I guess. It would have taken one number off. I really don't know because once again, I didn't want to. I wanted to make it very clear that there was no target. Wow, more people popping in. Hey Barnabas, hello. Um, the most successful crowdfunding campaign of 2009, based on percentage. No, I don't know. There's some bigger ones. There's a couple in there or there's at least one I found that's over 100,000. Um, July 4th is my birthday. Nice to have one for then. Okay. I'll see how I go. I don't know. It obviously the spanner's been thrown in the works now because I bought a pick and place machine. I need a. It's supposed to be a hope shipping today, but I need, it's going to take maybe a week, 2 weeks to get to me. I need to learn how to use it, get it all calibrated. So that's kind of pushed me back. Um, but then I'm going to be able to rip through how many boards there are. Like I need to. Hey Michael, I need to now like, yeah, everything's gone up a scale. You know what I mean? Hang on, I gotta drink. Yes, I bought a pick and place machine. Was there any doubt? Hey Josh, I had no choice. How am I going to build all these boards? We're what 5 days into the campaign. Sorry, I'm not doing this for a plug. I'll show you I'll talk about it in a second. Ooh, wrong screen. That's okay. So how many days? We're at 37 days left, right? And what did everyone work out? 486 so far. So and so wait, I'll get to the pick and place in yes, I'm going to run out of space. I don't even know where I'm going to put it. It's not a big one. I'll show you what I've got in a second. So, oh my god, my mind is just something about crowd supply that I didn't know when I launched, and I only found out the 2 hours before I launched. No, the day before I launched. Um, the sorry, the chat's going past fast. I'll get the pick and place machine in a second. It's not overly exciting, trust me. I almost did something crazy, but I didn't. So something I found out about crowd supply the day before I launched, because even the day before I hadn't set delivery dates and I couldn't work out my delivery dates because I didn't know how many TinyPICOs there were going to be, right? And I thought I was going to be hand building. So with the Kickstarter, when you set, like, let's say it's a 30-day campaign on Kickstarter and everyone's got 30 days to back it. At the end of the 30 days, the campaign's finished. There are no more orders. If you didn't back it, you missed out, right? And that's it. And then the person who's running the campaign gets their money after X period of time and starts production and whatever, right? That's not how crowd supply works. So that 37 days doesn't mean anything. The 37 days, when that ends, my timer starts for delivering goods. But you can keep buying. The the buying option doesn't go away. So I don't have. Well, it doesn't become a. It kind of becomes a storefront once I've shipped, but until I've shipped, until I physically send the goods to Crowd Supply and they have them in their hands, then people can still keep buying and it still keeps going in as pre-orders. Right? So I don't know how many I'm going to have. Like, I can't say in 37 days, that's it, done. This is the number I need to deliver. That number doesn't exist. Right? Because I could sell another 200 TinyPICOs during the 2 weeks I've got to get them the goods. And then suddenly my goalposts have shifted, right? So, like, for a day before the launch, you got no idea. Like, poor Yaz. Seriously? Yaz, I'm publicly apologising to you now. I was so stressed. I could not work out any delivery dates for Crowd Supply because I still didn't know at that point that I wasn't hand building them. And there were only so many I can do in a day, right? And the other thing was my campaign was always going to be 30 days. And at the last minute, they... And talked me into it sounds bad, right? Because obviously it was my decision. But they talked me into extending it to 42 days. So all that did was compounded how many TinyPICOs I was going to have to make, right? So, yes. So that was a spanner in my works. I don't know. I don't have a cutoff date. Like, I don't know how many I'm going to need to make. So I had no choice but to go down the pick and place route at all because there's just no physical way. And then within the first 8 hours, I knew like that was it. Game over. No hand building. Okay, I need to go back. Everyone's been typing still, and now I've lost all of the. I need to scroll back. Sorry. And if I've missed anyone joining the chat, I apologise. Hi, if I've missed. Yeah, I didn't want to go with the $1 goal. No. Okay, you did a lot of pick and place when I arrived. Does 26 of people sound about right? I thought it was 29, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't actually counted for a while. We need Paul. Tag it. Is Paul, are you here? Looking forward to the pick and place journey. I don't even know how much I'm going to be able to show the journey because, well, I don't know what's going to happen with my channel during all of this. What? Or do we know when a 386 would be fun? Just notice project from 2018. What? Needs to run an analytical math on what? But ongoing orders, do you then have to keep shipping small batches? Well, I don't know. Obviously, I want to do as fewer batches as possible. Because I said, because they cost me, like, each batch I send to America is going to cost me hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And that just comes off my profit, right? And my profit, as I've mentioned many times, is really small. And I'll talk about that in a moment, actually, because it's an interesting thing. Well, I don't know. I mean, now that I bought a pick and place machine, my profit's negative, but sounds like a shortcoming of the system. No, so I can set batch sizes. It's not a shortcoming of the system. The way they designed it to work is that I can set first X will be shipped on this date, and then the next X will be shipped on this date, and the next will be shipped on that date, right? So that's fine. I could have done that, but I didn't want to deliberately set myself up for multi-shipping and then not need it, right? Or I didn't want, after the first 100 backers come in, that everyone's delivery time frame shifted and it puts people off when it didn't have to be shifted. You know what I mean? Because it shows on here, like it says, orders placed now will ship 25th of July, right? Orders placed now will ship 25th of July. I didn't want people that came in a week later to suddenly see 25th of April. No, June, July, August, sorry. Don't even know the dates. I didn't want to say 25th of August. I didn't want people to think, like, does that make sense? Like, to me, 25th of July is ridiculously far away. I don't want 25th of July. I want everyone to have their stuff in June, if I can. You know what I mean? Well, that's not going to happen because the campaign's still running in June. So, but, like, you know what? I didn't want to keep pushing the date. So I tried to work out how many I could possibly do sooner, if that makes sense. Wow, sorry, I'm rambling. Okay, we took... Hey, Electronic Smoke, UK, welcome. Didn't count the connectors. Well, you got to count the connectors. They're still parts and they're all surface mount. Is there any exclusivity requirement? Yes, there is. So until I've shipped to the backers, I can't sell it anywhere else. So I will be selling on Tindy, and I'd love to find an Australian store that I can sell on for Australian people to not have to go through US dollars. Maybe, I don't know, that'd be nice. But yeah, until I've shipped to the backers, I'm not allowed to sell anywhere else. Backers come first, which is fair enough, it makes sense. Hey Chris, how you doing? You don't need to get one ordered. There's no law that says you have to order one, I'm just saying, right? The separate TinyPICO and dual pack are sold out. Separate TinyPICO and... No, nothing sold out. What? Who sold out? No, the only limited things are the... Oh, we'll talk about that too. About the play pack and the shield pack were the only things I limited. And they were supposed to be limited to 50 each. And I've already had to lift them. I lifted them to 75 each, and now I've lifted them to 100 each. The shields are a massive time sink for me. They take so long to make. And they're going to have to be by hand still, because anyway, so where are we going? Let's need to make it... It's an interesting system, and they're revolving it. You know, it's still fairly new. And the guys that are running it are fantastic to work with. They're really, really good. Shout out to Josh and Daryl and everyone else at Crowd Supply. I shouldn't say guys, because there's girls and guys. The folks, they're really great, and they're quite open, and I have really open and conversations with them. You know, I tell them stuff I like, I tell them stuff I don't like. I give them feature requests. They let me know the stuff they're working on, the stuff that's coming up in the pipeline. I mean, they're evolving the system, right? They're really, really open to feedback, which is really, really good. And some very interesting things are taking place, and I'm the first of one of them. So, like, bring me back to things that I said I'll mention in a moment that I haven't yet. How more people coming? Robert. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Did you say you want to pick and place? Yes, I bought a pick and place. I'll get to that. Okay, I did not expect to be doing a deep dive on this morning. That's okay, I'm quite happy to. But I do have lots of stuff to do and talk about today other than the campaign, but I'll keep talking about it. So, for everyone that's outside the US, but specifically the EU, so I'm one of the first campaigns on Crowd Supply to have their new shipping system. And there was a bit of a controversy at the start. Let me just scroll down. Shipping and fulfillment. Right. So now, and I've double checked this, and I can't say what's going to happen when these hit customs. Okay. But I'm one of the first campaigns to have all of the EU stuff, because obviously, like, stuff shipping to Australia doesn't have VAT or customs. But anyone that has VAT or customs, to have the VAT and customs prepaid on your order. The extra you pay, the $9, so I'm just going to scroll up and down. So for those of you in the EU, when you buy a pack, you've got to pay extra. So, yeah, you got to pay $9 for the shipping, right? Which seems like a lot, but it's got VAT and customs prepaid for you, so it should be shipping straight to your door, right? So you picked a P&P, then placed the order. Very funny, Mr. Callaway. Oh, Adam's writing a book on the ESP32. Hope you feature the TinyPICO. So that makes the shipping cost really reasonable if there's no customs, if you don't get hit for customs or VAT, right? But unfortunately, their their shipping information still mentions that the buyer is responsible for VAT and for customs, because there are still campaigns running that have that set up, right? So they can't change that documentation. But I've mentioned here, so for those that didn't like having to pay extra for that amount for the shipping to get it to the EU, understand that VAT and duty, it's being paid for you. Now, what happens when it hits customs? I don't know. I don't know how things work. But I'm hoping it'll just be straight door-to-door shipping. Hang on, now there's lots of questions gone past. I think I get paid once they receive stock, and whatever stock I send them, I get paid for. right? So as soon as it hits their, if I send half the orders now, which I can't, but if I send half the orders now and it hits their warehouse, once it gets to their warehouse, I think I get paid. Yes. Have the crowd supply folks documented their journey? I don't think so. I don't know. I wouldn't think so. But does it not say out of 100, for instance? Well, it says. It doesn't say out of 100. It just says how many are left. I don't think there's a here. Like, it just shows like 80 claimed, 20 left. Right. It was never my intent to do more than 50 of each pack, but I honestly thought 50 would last the whole campaign. What do I know? I know nothing. Met the founder at SuperCon. I think I'm going to their teardown. Oh, they got a teardown? So did you meet Josh? I think there's Josh Lipton and I think his brother, could be his brother or a relation. I think maybe other founders. Really nice people. Really nice people. Hey Death Shaker, did I miss anyone else? Once again, I'm sorry if I did. So what else? Oh, Zephbot, hello. Wow, so customs will be covered at EU. Yes, it is. Oh, that's what's supposed to be happening. VAT custom fees only apply above €22. Right, but shield packs over €22, play packs are over 22, like pretty much everything other than a single. No, because it's the value they're going to put is going to be with the shipping value, I think. I don't know. Anyway, however it works. Right, what did I... The fat custom charges built in makes it very tantalizing now. Custom charges annoys scare the crap out of me every time. Yeah. I think it's great that they're doing this. There was just some confusion because of the docs mentioned something different. I had stacks of people pinging me, and I kept updating people on Twitter. And it happened over the weekend, which meant that the crowd supply folks weren't around. But then again, another fantastic thing. I'm chatting with the crowd supply folks 1 o'clock in the morning on the weekend, their time, 1 a.m. in America on the weekend, and they're communicating with me. How crazy is that? They're really they're hands-on with the campaign, which is fantastic. Really, really good. I can't praise them enough. Okay, so maybe when... Sure. Adam, no need to buy one. That's okay. But yeah, when you write the book, I'm happy to cover it here. Said exactly what I asked you about a few weeks back, and I was very elated to see the VAT customs included. Yes. So I want to explain something about the pricing. So I personally don't like the way they show their pricing, right? And I've mentioned it. So it's not free shipping to America. It's that the shipping is included. The price that you see, it's not $26 for a TinyPICO and everyone in America gets free shipping, right? I just want to clarify. And I don't think I'm in breach of any of my contracts with crowd supply saying this. TinyPICO is $20 US, right? And shipping to America is $6, right? It's shipping is included for the price. It's not free shipping. I personally think that's misleading because when I see that, I think why do the American people get free shipping and everyone else pays $29? But also, why does one single TinyPICO cost $26? Right? I mean, I'd rather it was $20 or $26, which includes free shipping. Which includes shipping to America. Does that make sense? So it's actually $6 shipping to America and $15 to ship to the EU, right? And that makes it sound even worse. But that's how they're affording to cover the duty and the everything else, right? And I'm torn either way because I think if people would see $15 to ship to EU, they'd completely freak out about how high that is. So I'm torn by it all, but it makes it look like the TinyPICO, it makes it look like I'm selling them for $26, right? And I've had people ping me telling me I'm an idiot, I'm an a-hole, it's a cult product for a bunch of fanboys. $26, I can buy for $26 I can buy 10 boards from China, type thing. You know what I mean? Um, but also remember, this stuff is not shipping mail. This is all being shipped by Mauser. Like, this is all couriers. Like, you're all getting, I don't know what they use, FedEx or whatever they use. Like, this is all proper. You know what I mean? You're not waiting 3 weeks to get this in the mail. Yes, some people are idiots. I'll gladly say that. But anyway, look, yeah, it's been a great start to the campaign. Very happy with it. The shield packs, look, I've just gone and bought a whole bunch more stuff. I'm going to run out of shields. I've ordered enough PCBs to... Because here's the other thing. Once the campaign's finished, right, then Crowd Supply become a storefront, and what they normally do is they pre-buy stock. So if you buy something from Crowd Supply once it's a storefront, they can ship it straight away. I don't know how many they're going to buy off me yet. It really depends on my pricing, right? Because I need to offer them wholesale pricing, and my margins are... But they also going to want to stock the shields, and I also want to sell the shields on Tindy afterwards. So I can't just run out. Like, I need to solve enough for the campaign and enough stock after the campaign. And I don't know how many that is. So I've ordered enough PCBs to make between another 200 and 300 shields. And I've ordered parts, and like, this is just a logistics nightmare. I've spent my last 4 days just ordering parts from all around the world. It is crazy. Out of control. Okay, so let's skip to a bit. I always assumed listing was free shipping. Just roll the shipping into the overall price. Well, that's what it is. I know, but it just makes it... To me, it makes it look like I'm charging more for the TinyPICO, and maybe I'm just overthinking it. I don't know. Clearly people don't think that way or don't care because of the backer numbers. But, maybe I've missed out on 100 backers. I don't know. And I'll never know. How we feel on the cheap Chinese clones? Nothing I can do about that. And I'm going to help them because I'm going to release all the files open source, right? But they don't need the files to copy it. But yes, look, it's going to happen. I can't stop it. And the more successful my campaign is, the more likely it's going to happen, right? Although, to be fair, these numbers are tiny. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm super happy, but like I mentioned that there's no margin here. Every overthinking usually paid off for me. Yeah, I overthink everything though. Hey, veteran, welcome. I don't know if I pinged before, but hello. So the first quantity break for me on parts really is 1,000 for some parts, 2,000 for some parts, and 5,000 for other parts, right? So, me shipping 500, almost 500, or having backers for 500 TinyPICOs right now, it might be double what I thought I was going to do, but it's still the worst possible price bracket for me for parts. So, and it's 37 days left, and I don't know what number's going to happen. Like, I don't know. But now that it's over, 300, which is probably the most I could have done by hand, I now need it to get to 2,000. I know that sounds greedy, and I don't mean to be greedy, right? But if it doesn't... now, because I've had to invest in a pick-and-place machine, and I've had to start buying my parts in reels, and so I'm buying parts in massive quantities, way more than I need, then I now need the campaign to do 1,500 to 2,000, or I won't say I'm screwed. I'll have an awesome learning lesson at the end of this, but I probably won't make any money. Right? I'll lose money if I can't get to those higher numbers because of what I have to commit to now to be able to produce even 500 boards. And yes, I could have gone to China to get my stuff made. I just don't want to go to China. I don't nothing against people who do contract manufacturing in China. It just doesn't suit what I want to do. I want to set myself up for full manufacturing here. I've got other products I make and sell, and every single thing I build and I sell right now, I build by hand. Right? Every time, I'm out of reflow masters again. I haven't restocked them. Why? Because I need to sit down and find time to build 4 or 8 reflow masters by hand every single time. Like that's 2 days out of my, like 2 days gone just building reflow masters. Now there's obviously some hand assembly on the reflow masters, hand soldering, which I can't automate. But if I had a pick and place machine sitting behind me, I'd just go and build 60 or 40 reflow masters in one hit. Bang. 40 reflow masters in like 2 hours, done. Right? All I have to do is hand assemble the soldering stuff and I don't have to worry about it anymore. But right now, every time I run out of reflow masters and I have to restock them, like I love hand assembling. I love doing electronics and surface mount work. But the pressure of just quickly making them to get stock, is really frustrating. So I want to set up for manufacturing here. I don't want to go to China. And as I've mentioned already, I've got testing issues if I go to China, and I've got... Okay, here's a classic example. By the way, if anyone's not interested in this, ping and let me know you're not interested, right? As I said, I want to be transparent with all of this. If I'm going to make these in China, I need to order today. I need to put my order in on how many boards I need today to get them back from China in time. Because China's got a 4 to 5 week lead time for manufacturing, right? They need time to source parts. They need time to fit it into their system, to build them, to check them, package them, and ship them back to me, right? So I've got 37 days left. If I want to get them made in China, I need to pick a number right now and order it and pay right now for that whole production right now. How many do I do? You know, so I've got almost 537 days. To be fair, you know, a massive chunk of that was on the first day. I don't know what's going to happen with the campaign. Like I've had, you know, my third day, I think I did there was 4 backers in a whole day, right? I don't know how many I'm going to do, so I don't know how many to order. So it's just, China just seems way too chaotic for me. Now what would normally happen is the campaign would finish and then there'd be a 6-week period of time for production. But I don't want to add 6 weeks to the end of the campaign before I can ship them to crowd supply. Like that just, again, that would have mean, you know, shipping in September, and I didn't want to do that. So anyway, whoa, how crazy was all of that? Sorry. Look, if the clones come out and there's more demand for shields or ecosystems and stuff, then that's kind of great, right? Yeah, like I can't prevent the clones. I'm trying to build an ecosystem with the shields. There are other people building shields, as some of you might know if you read my thank you production pics update that came out. I think it was yesterday. PCB assembly with local companies is way too expensive here in Australia. I mean, set up the fees to set up a pick and place alone is, you know, in the hundreds to $1,000 price point. And then, you know, I'm looking at dollars per board, you know, $3-4 per board to make them. Chinese PCB assembly is cheap. You know, at quantities of 1,000 boards, you're paying less than $1 US per board for manufacturing. But they also mark up the parts, they mark up the PCBs, and it's the lead time that I just can't do. And the build and the testing. For 1,000 boards, I'll have to supply like 10 test jigs. So that's $2,500 of test jigs that I need to supply. And what's if one fails, right? Right, so let's talk about the pick and place now, because there's questions about it and things like how long do I think it's going to take me. So, it's not greed, it's good business sense. About the higher numbers, Gene? Oh, sure. Like obviously, so what happens is the higher the numbers, the higher the quantities of parts I buy, the cheaper I buy them for, right? So my BOM cost goes down per board and I make more money per board, and I need to make more money per board. Like I'm not going to lie about that. Everyone knows, or most of you know, that this whole journey for me, I won't forget the TFT that's sitting right in front of me. This whole journey for me has been, as I stated from the very start when I launched my YouTube channel, was that I wanted to see if I could turn this into a business, like turn this into, can I support my family with electronics? You know, a bit of YouTube, a bit of building, and a lot of building and selling things and designing things and giving away as much as I can as open source, which has pretty much been everything so far. this whole journey for me is about becoming sustainable doing this. And I really, really want to. I don't want to go get a job. I want to be doing this for a living. But I need to make money to do that, right? I'm not going to hide that. And flying probe tester, I don't think so. Well, the boards get tested anyway before they're sent to me, the PCBs anyway. So I need to make money on these. And right now, I'm not making enough money on these too. Like, it's not worth any of the effort, right? But I'm not doing this first campaign necessarily to make money off, right? As into, I'd like to make something at the end of it, but it's not going to solve my financial problems. Yeah, I'm unemployable, I think, as well anyway, but that's beside the point. So, but the problem with, sorry, I'll get back to anyone's questions soon. It's like skateboarding in a minefield. Yes, it is. It's called a secondary break-even point, something like that. So the problem is to get to that next price point, the quantity of parts I need to buy is ridiculous. Like, ridiculous. Like, I'm going to have so many leftover. If I sell 2,000 TinyPICOs, I'm still going to have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of parts left over unused, right? But that's what I need to buy to get to that price point. So I've taken a gamble, right? I'm going to be upfront with everyone right now, and this could absolutely bite me in the ass. I bought a pick and place machine, as I said, and it's the cheapest pick and place machine I could buy. Cheapest assembled, hopefully reliable one. Like, it's not a kit build. And I have bought, ready for this? I have bought all of my parts, except for the APAs, because I can't buy them in reels. All of my parts I have bought now in minimum reel quantity. So that means for my passives, for my 0402 passives, 10,000 items on a reel, right? For my things like my charge ICs that I use, my top power TP 4065s, 3,000 of them on a reel. My LDOs, 3,000 on a reel. Like, I'm not going to sell 3,000 TinyPICOs, but I can't. What's MTL 85304? I don't know what that is. I don't even know what that part is. I don't use that part. Right? I've had no choice. The speakers, you mean on the audio? No. I'm talking about just TinyPICO. I've not bought reels of Shield stuff because I'm not going to do that many Shields. And I'm not using that speaker. I'm using a different speaker. I'm using one from LCSC, a Chinese one. I've never even heard of that model for the speaker. Interesting. So I have now officially, as of yesterday, I've gone all in. I don't have a choice. Because even if I don't do the numbers on the Crown Supply campaign, I still want to have stock afterwards to sell. You know what I mean? I want to sell them on Tindy. I might end up selling 2,000 boards over the next 12 months. I don't know. It might not happen from the campaign. But what I can't do, for instance, is buy 1,000 of everything at a higher price point and then run out and buy 1,000 of everything again. Because then I end up buying the same quantity in the end, but at a much higher price. It doesn't make any sense, right? But I have spent a lot of money. I'm not going to tell you how much. I'm not going to be that transparent because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I've spent a lot of money. But I didn't see a choice. I had to, there were videos still to come out. None of the review videos have come out. Mick from Mick Makes hasn't done his Crowd Supply roundup yet. Brian's got a video coming out. Maybe Bitloony, are you here? Are you watching? Maybe Bitloony's got a video coming out. I don't know. Maybe a couple of other people might have videos coming out. It could take off more. I really don't know. But, yeah, that's crazy. Hope you can. Sounds like something I'd do as well. I'd be excited to be able to make electronics for a living. I'd really be excited to make electronics for a living. How long do you... Okay, so... I'm way past the point of no return. Way past the point of no return. Hey Yuri, did I say hi? I don't know if I did in Helmet. Hello. I don't know if I said hi. As build was far too laborious, so allowed more for others. Mick Make's already got. He's got a. He didn't get a play shield because I was out of parts. The speakers were out. But he's got TinyPICO and all of the other shields. Yeah, he's had them for a. He's had them. He's had them for enough time to. To do a video. No, he's got. I sent them to him. Mick and I are mates. He's got. I've sent a pack to Adafruit. It looks like it's been lost in the mail. Thank you, Vedran. Appreciate it. An unexpected manufacturer. It's not actually, funny enough, that's not unexpected. My plan was to always become self-sufficient in manufacturing here. Thank you, Vedran, though. I really appreciate it. Although I have no idea what currency BAM is. What is BAM? I didn't say hi because I was too busy talking. I did not send one to Mr. David Jones, and honestly, only because he doesn't cover stuff like that. Like, what's he going to do? He's going to open it, he's going to go, oh, it's a little ESP32 board, and he'll put it down, and assuming he even opens it on video. Nothing against him, but that's not what he does, right? That's not his space. I've sent one I've sent some stuff to Andreas, but he's away at the moment, right? By the time he gets back and he gets to maybe look at it, I think the campaign will be over. That's a good impression of it. Probably not. I don't know. I don't do good impressions. Bosnian Mark. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Thank you. So, and also I had to be careful of how many I was sending out. I didn't want to just send to everyone because the truth is each board cost me a lot of money, right? Forget about my time. Like just the parts on them and manufacturing, and everything I'm building right now, I'm using parts that were bought at a really bad price point, right? Like they were bought in quantities of 100, which is the worst possible price point I can buy stuff at. So, Chris, I'm not going to repeat that one. That's funny. So I had to be careful how many I was sending out and shipping. So every board I've shipped so far to anyone has cost me more to ship it than it's cost me for the board, right? So I've easily spent in parts and shipping $1,000, $1,200 just to get samples out, Right, so that's my worst case scenario, Greg, is that that I can manufacture from start to finish here without having to hand assemble, and I'll still hand assemble prototypes. Doesn't make sense to put that in a picking place. And then my worst case scenario is I'm set up, right? But I really don't want to go backwards financially. That would really suck. Did you track and trace it? All of the packages went out with tracking, yes. They weren't sent via DHL, but they were sent with tracked mail. Absolutely. Just because of the price, like the stuff I sent, Adafruit, I sent everything, right? One of everything. I mean, that's a lot of money of stuff. Like I can't have it go missing, but it looks like it's gone missing. They're doing a investigation into what's happened with it. The tracking has stopped 6 days ago. Apple started in a garage, yes, but I'm not going to be in Apple. If I could ever get to 100th the size of Adafruit, I'd be happy. I'd like to get to a point where it's not just me. Because it's really tough doing everything with one person, let me tell you. I wish you all the success in the world. Thank you very much, the only alien. Okay, so the pick and place machine I got a Charm High in the end. I almost got a Light Placer, which is the OpenPNP based, you can use that software. It's a kit. And my Makerspace bought one, and I went down there last Monday, not 2 days ago, but the one before, and started building theirs and looked at how involved it was to build and decided I was not buying one. It would have been my cheapest option, but I did not want to spend a week building it and 3 weeks problem solving it, hoping that I can build a TinyPICO on it. It just wasn't worth my while. Did anyone offer that in China? They did to me to sell my product. No one has yet, no. See on jobs. Stop it, guys. If I've missed anyone's questions and you want an answer, please just repost it, okay? So the one I got was, let's I thought I had I didn't. Okay. This was a really tough journey of me trying to find a pick and place machine. I'm trying to find a, doesn't really matter where or which listing. I'll just bring up an alley listing, doesn't really matter. Yeah, that'll do. Whatever. So this is the one I bought. Sorry for the delay. I don't know why it's showing me as New Zealand. That's weird. So I bought the Charm High 36 VA. No worries, John. Thanks for popping in though. Must have made. Yeah, I've been doing long days, getting to bed much later than I normally do. Very tired. Very, very tired. People's videos. I was doing PNP research and saw your comments. Right. Yeah, I've been asking questions, right? Because so all of the cheap machines, and believe me, this is a cheap machine. All of the cheap machines, though they can do 0402, they're not really like that's not where they excel. They kind of excel at 0603 and above. That's cheap, dude. Super cheap. Super cheap. Anyway, so this machine has got two heads. Where they're in specs pictures. Wow, that's a really bad listing I found. Let's see if I can find a better listing. CHMT36 VO. Charm High. Right, different pictures now. That's good. So this particular unit's got two heads on it, which is a problem for me. Because, well, it might be solvable, but I don't know yet. I needed a machine with at least three heads. So we don't have, I shouldn't have to pay customs on this. We have some nice rules on customs, which is great. Don't forget though, I buy everything in Australian dollars, and the Australian dollar right now sucks compared to the US dollar. So 3,280 is about almost just under 6,000 or around five and a bit $1,000 Australian. It really sucks, the price range at the moment. Is this the sort of thing that can be made better with 3D printer? No, this can't be. This is not a kit. You can't replace the parts on this, right? So the first thing is it's got two heads, but I need three. So the problem is you put nozzles in the head, right? And each nozzle is for a different size or range of size of parts. And there's only one size nozzle really that works with 0402. Like you can't pick up an 0603 with that nozzle, right? And you can't pick up an 0402 with an 0603 nozzle. So I've got 0402, I've got SOT 883, which is actually a bit smaller than 0402. I've got 0603, I've got then the ICs, the SOT 23s, the, whatever, QFNs, larger packages. I need three heads, and these heads don't auto-change. So what I'm going to likely have to do with this machine is I'm going to have to build every panel in two halves. I'm going to have to do all of the 0402 and SOT 883, all the small parts first, obviously you have to do anyway, and hopefully the second head will be able to do 0603 and some of the small ICs and maybe the APA and stuff. Then I'm going to have to take out one of the heads manually without bumping anything, and the heads are quite the nozzles, and replace the nozzle and then run a whole nother run for the larger stuff. Right, I don't want to buy a whole second P&P. Right. Now, this has got 28 or 29 feeders. So it's got 22 8mm feeders, and then a bunch of 12s, and then a couple of 16s, right? Really, Graham? Okay, you need to look into P&Ps more. Anyway, these are straight out of China. Now they're not great machines. They're not. SparkFun used one of these to do their very small run stuff, and that's where these really took off. You know, they've been available for a while, but when SparkFun posted about using them, instead of hand assembling, like, you know, if they design a board and they want to build 100 of them, put them on the store to see how they run, they used to hand build 100 boards, but now they run them on this. But every time they run boards, they have problems, right? So there is a model. Okay, so, and this also requires an external machine, like a PC, and the PC has to be running Windows 7. So I've bought myself, just off eBay, a second-hand PC that's got Windows 7 already on it, because I don't have a machine here I can use. So that was another couple $100, which is no big deal. So yeah, this doesn't have a computer inside. It's got up vision, as you can see here. There's a camera. So what the up vision does is, like, it uses it to check orientation on parts, and it's got a down camera on the head. That picture come up. This here, oh God, you can't see where my mouse is a down camera, but there's no machine learning on it. Yes, Windows 7. There's no machine learning on the down camera, which is a bit annoying. So you use that to set up your calibration on your board off your fiducials or whatever else. But because there's no machine learning, it means every board I put down I have to calibrate it again. So every panel, calibrate. Every panel, calibrate. A pain in the bum. Sign for a P&P and use matching size sets. I never thought of... Okay, wow. Importing 5K device into New Zealand would probably add another. Right, so I've got GST though, right? So it's 10%. So when it comes in, I'm going to have to pay an extra 10% on it. But I can claim that back because I'm a company. So that's fine. So this is what I bought. But what I almost bought was two things. My original plan was to buy the wow, I can't even do it. 48 VB. I was going to buy this one. Wow. I can't type. Is there an API? No, this is... I'll get to that. It's all closed. No. Well, I'll get to that in a second. I'll come back to it, James. So I was going to get this one, which is more. This was going to cost me $7,000 landed in Australia, plus, sorry, $7,700. It was going to cost me landed. And this particular one has feeders on both sides, so I can fit twice as many reels. And it's got an onboard Linux computer, embedded Linux with a touchscreen, so I don't need a separate PC for it. Now, but otherwise it's exactly the same. It's got the same problem with only the two heads, and I'll get to the other problems with them in a moment, which is going to potentially bite me in the backside, but it bites everyone in the backside. So I really wanted to get this one, but it was $7,000. It was a lot more, $7,700. What's nice about the other one though is because it uses a separate machine, there are people working on OpenPNP, which is the Open Pick and Place software. People are writing drivers to support the other machine. You can't do this one because there's no way of connecting a computer to it. And what's inside it is not a machine that can run Windows. It's just an embedded Linux, you know, like an SBC with a screen, right? And a fairly low-powered one. So if I went this route, I could never do OpenPNP. And OpenPNP software is 1,000 times better than the software that ships with these things, right? So the problem with these machines with both of them, is the feeders. Is these things. Is there a shot of them? No. Let me go back to the other picture. There might have been a shot of it. Right, I'll stop here. So the way it works is you tape, I'm pointing at the screen, but you can't see where I'm pointing. That's really annoying. The tape goes in, and you see the plastic gets wrapped back. That's right, the cover tape. The cover tape gets wrapped back, and the cover tape gets connected to You see the light blue and white small discs, right? Along here, where my mouse is. It gets wrapped around those. And what happens? And that's on one servo, right? The whole thing, they all turn. And what you do is they've got tensioners on each one. And every time a part is picked, they all turn, and it uses the tension to pull the plastic back on the one it needs to pull the plastic back on, right? It's pretty low tech. And the biggest problem almost everyone has with these pick and place machines is the tape either snaps and you're screwed, right? Or there's not enough tension and the tape doesn't pull enough, and next time it goes to pick the part, there's tape there and it misses the part. Now, what happened? The nice thing about the machine is it's got suction, it's got vacuum detection as well as the visual detection. So it can, 90% of the time, it can determine if it failed to pick up a part. It might try a couple of times, and then the machine beeps and it stops, and an alert comes up, and it tells you, relatively speaking, low tech, yes. And it tells you where it stopped, and you can generally fix it in the middle of the run and continue on from that point. Or if you have a part that's failing all the time, you can tell the software to skip that part from then on, and it'll just keep going, and then you just place that part afterwards, right? So that's the main problem people have with these. And the other problem that people have with them, because they're a very fast machine, like they do 3,000 parts per hour, which is massive. The light placer I was looking at only does 300 parts per hour. To be fair, I can only do about 60 parts per hour, right? Maybe 80 parts per hour, maybe 100 I could do if I was, I physically can't build a panel quick enough to get it in the oven without the paste, without jeopardizing the quality of the paste, right? You get like an hour and a half on the paste before you need to go in the oven, and I can't build a whole panel that quickly, so I build mine TinyPICOs 2 at a time. So they're fast, but even if you slow them down to 60%, which is still massive, 1,200 parts per hour, quite often it misplaces parts. Like and the smaller the part, the more chance of a misplace. Like it'll pick up a part, you put it down, it'll be slightly off the pads, it'll be slightly rotated, or it might be flipped on its side because of the vacuum suction, right? Hey Savas, I hope everyone's still listening. I don't know. There's not a lot of chat happening right now, and I feel like I'm doing a lesson on pick and place machines. Anyway, so that's the other problem with them. And the smaller the part, the more chance it's going to happen. And I've got I've got smaller than 0402. So I've been spending a lot of time talking to people. Yeah, thanks, Yuri. I'm not looking at $150,000 or $1 million pick and place machines. Just saying. Right? So with this particular model, it's not exactly what I need, right? But the next one up, the 2-feeder one for 7,700, has got exactly the same problems, only 2 heads, so it still wasn't exactly what I needed, right? So, and the other thing with these machines is they don't use steppers. They use closed loop servos. So, obviously with steppers, you get accurate stepping, counting, and everything else. With servos, you don't have any rotary encoding ability, really. But with the closed loop system, you can do accurate counting, right? But servos are nowhere near as reliable as steppers, especially when you're moving them fast. Keep going, interesting stuff. Does the PNP apply solder paste? No, you do that by stencil. You can get very expensive automated solder paste systems that you can do that I don't have to hand stencils for about $8,000. You can get semi-automated ones for about $4,000 that apparently are terrible, and you can get manual ones that are even worse. I'm just going to keep hand pasting. My pasting technique's gone pretty good. It only takes me about 5 minutes. It'll take me about 5 minutes to set up and be able to paste a panel. And if I'm already set up, I can paste a panel in under a minute. What's the logic in using steppers? Well, steppers are much more expensive. And then you need more expensive stepper drivers, and you potentially need more power to the steppers. I can't believe Julian's even interested in this. No offense, Julian. I didn't Anything surface mount, I thought you started snoozing. Oh, what did I miss? Wow. Hey, Scott. I'm talking about what pick and place machine I ordered and why. And you missed a whole bunch of other stuff earlier. Sorry. You'll have to go back. You wanted to pick and place once. Yeah. I've always wanted... Anyway. So that's potentially part of the problem on the placement and jerkiness sometimes. It could be because of the servos. But what I did get a quote for and I was about to buy, literally about to buy, was this. CHMT 530P4. Wow, I cannot type CHMT. What is going on with me? And you're all going to freak a bit. And no, that is not the price. So everyone just wait. Yeah, I can't use an open hardware pick and place machine. Firstly, because they're all kits. I don't want to build one. Secondly, again, like the light placer is open hardware pick and place. It's slow. Single head. It's got auto-changing heads, but it's a single head. And once again, 0402 and below, not overly fantastic on it. I did not want to build or have to maintain to a point a pick and place machine. So Open PNP just wasn't there for me. There's one called Open Placer that I was looking at seriously, but the guy admitted that I will not be able to do my SOT 803 parts with it. So again, I didn't go that route. So this is also a Charm High. It's got 4 heads. Why is all the pictures the same? That's really annoying. Are there no better pictures? Let me sort of get one with the better pictures. Closer shot of the heads. There we go. That's got 4 heads on it, so I don't have to do any head changing. It's obviously bigger, but it uses proper feeders, Yamaha feeders. That price does not include any feeders, right? Feeders are, and these are like for cheap feeders. They're 8mm feeders are $50 US each. 12mm are like 70, and 16mm feeders are 80 or 90, right? So this particular machine is still a desktop machine. It's much bigger, but it's still designed to go on a desk. This was going to cost me $12,000 landed in Australia with all the feeders I needed, right? And 12,000, that's a lot of money. $12,000, right? Real money in making machines. I don't know if there's money in making them. These would be really hard machines to make. You know, and when you look at the similar type stuff not made in China or not sold from Chinese companies, they're double the price. So I literally was about to order this. Like I had my order and my quote and my payment information, and I was literally on my banking software ready to buy this machine. The green light makes it look legit. The thing is though, it still runs the same software, can't handle open pick and place, it's embedded inside, runs the same software as the saw machines, still uses servos, not steppers, still uses the same heads, right? So potentially the same issue with twisted parts. But because it uses the feeders, there's no tape cover issue. But it meant I had to buy everything in reels. I can't just ad hoc put tape in, right? And I also have the issue of needing to buy cover tape extenders or something, or I lose parts. Storage of anyway, I almost bought this, but what I decided in the end was, and it took me a long time. No, it wasn't cold feet. It took me a long time to get to this. This has less problems than the other two, but they're all going to give me they're all going to give me placement problems, right, at this level. And so every panel I make, I'm going to have to go and hand fix a bunch of parts. It could be 1 part per board, and there's 15 boards per panel, or it could be 4 parts per board. I might have to go and nudge every QFN on every board after building, right? I'm going to have to fix every board no matter what. So, if I'm going to have to do that anyway, and I'm going to have the same possible placement issues, I might as well buy the cheapest thing I can, right? Because even on the cheapest machine, you know, even if the issues on it and the frustration on it slows me down to a quarter of what it should be, it's still going to be 4 or 5 times faster than what I can do by hand, right? And it'll be less frustration than me doing them by hand. So I figured if I'm going to have to suffer with quirks in the machines at any level like this, I'm going to pay the least amount of money possible to do it. Does that make sense? That's what I finally came to. Like, I'd written off that first one. I'd written this off straight away as something I was not going to buy. Because I didn't want to have a separate machine plugged in. I don't want another Windows box sitting somewhere in my office, right? I didn't want it. I wanted the extra feeders. But, you know, at the end of the day, the two machines are going to give me the same grief. So why pay $3,000 more or $2,500 more for the same result, right? Now, all of these machines, right, you can add. So that's a pretty massive board, right? My boards are small. They're 100 by 100. So all of the machines in any of the spare area behind, you can put custom strips of stuff. I want to see if I can find a picture. Let me see if I can find a picture of CHMT36VA custom strips. I don't know if I'll find a picture or not. It's pretty vague. Pretty vague thing. Maybe I'll see if I can find a picture of someone doing it. There are videos of it, of people doing it, but I want to be careful with wow, I can't believe. Okay, let me do IC tray. Maybe that'll work. IC tray. Right, so you can put, like this one here, this picture, you can stick in, you've got these, right, here we go, you've got these clamp areas, and inside that area, you can do anything you want. You can set, I think you've got 8 or 12 custom lines. I will get to the TFT, because I really need your help on it. And do the heads rotate when the up camera checks components? Yes, yeah, the up camera does machine vision, and the heads can rotate, and it. But, you know, it's all about, did it pick it in the middle? Like, what's if the part bounces? So it goes, it pulls the feeder across, it picks up the part, but, you know, and then the part next to it bounces because of the speed, and then when it goes to pick that one up, it's off-center when it picks it up, and then, you know, some of the really advanced pick-and-place machines can see it's off-center, and they can adjust and calibrate for it, but this can't. So, you know, there could be, I might need to be nudging parts all the time. PNP chatter is more engaging. I don't know. Yeah, customs with Australia, I shouldn't have to pay customs or duty when I bring it in. I'll have to pay 10% GST, but I can claim that back. There might be a customs fee of like $90. I don't know. We'll see. I've never brought something in from China that's this expensive. And unfortunately, there's nowhere I can buy it from locally. So anyway, so I can set up custom strips, ad hoc strips. Like I can stick, oh, here we go. Something like this, right? I don't want to play that. There might be a video. Can everyone see that picture? I'm going to be careful not to click on it. But what you can do is you can, is that one there? Are they custom? No, they're not. I can't believe there are no pictures. Anyway, I could cut a strip of, you know, like those speakers that I've got for my audio shield that I don't have on a reel, and I can stick them, like I could like laser cut a plate to go on the back, and I can stick them on there on the strip, and I can tell the software that's another feeder. I give it the start position, the end position, how many parts there are, how high the part is, and everything else, and it can go and pick them up and place them. So I can do custom panels of parts. So that's how I'm going to solve not having the other feeders. Um, yeah, this is going to be still no matter how slow this has to work to be reliable. I can't make it run less than 50% because then I get other problems with the machine. But as slow as I make it run, it's still going to be dramatically faster than me hand making them. And even if I have to fix parts on each board, I have to inspect them anyway, right? Every panel that comes off the board, I have to put under my microscope and inspect every part on every panel to make sure they're in the right spot, right? But that's not going to take long. What, 10 minutes? And 10 minutes on 15 boards, big deal. And while I'm looking, I can just have my tweezers, I can just nudge parts, right? It's not a big deal. Obviously, if it can't pick up certain parts and place them, I'll have to hand place those. But yeah, and exactly, I won't go crazy. So the money I'm spending on the pick and place is for a pick and place machine, but it's also for my own sanity, which is why I almost bought the 4-head one, right? Because if I do have to do the head swap on this, it's going to be a pain. I'll do it, but it's going to be a pain. It's going to be every time I have to swap the head, I'm going to regret not buying the larger pick and place machine. Like I know that. That's how my head works. But what I've done though is I've ordered a couple of extra nozzles with this that doesn't come with it. That there's one of these nozzles apparently, someone's had, or a couple of people have had success placing small and medium parts with it, like 0402 and 0603 and things like APA size. So if that works, I might be able to do the whole thing with just 2 heads. My other fallback is I do all the small and medium parts and then I just hand place the QFNs. I'm probably going to have to hand place the antennas still anyway, because I don't think I can pick up the antennas, right? God, I haven't even... Okay, I'm going to stop talking about this in a minute. It is mind-numbingly tedious, Julian, and the worst thing about it is, not that it's tedious, is it's even with music going for me, it is hours and hours of me having really bad conversations in my head about how stupid it is that I'm hand placing all of these things, right? That's the worst bit. It's why don't I have a pick and place? Why am I doing this? This is ridiculous. I should be automating this. Why am I thinking of building 200 boards? You know what I mean? So let me just quickly change camera. So yeah, the issue I'm going to have is, if this will focus, is the pickup point for this antenna is on the most flexible part of the antenna. Lost my tweezers. It's going to have to pick it up right at this point here, where it's a flex point. Glad you're not the one having the conversations. I built, so I think I worked out the other day, I built 127. Since I started this project, I built 127 TinyPICOs from the very first revision onwards, right? Including stock I've built and everything else. So I've had the conversation in my head 127 times. It's a surface mount antenna. So little pads on the bottom. So I'm pretty sure if I put pressure here to pick it up, and there's a bit of pressure with these things, that's just going to bend. See that? I'm going to destroy every antenna. So I'm going to have to hand place the antennas as well. And let me tell you, they're fiddly. They really are fiddly to place. Really fiddly. But anyway, whatever. It's still going to be faster. That's right, I'll add it during inspection. So I believe my work, so right now I can build 10 to 12 TinyPICOs a day. I could build more. I could probably build 15 or 20 a day, but I'll have no time left to build shields or to do inventory or to pack anything or anything else, right? So realistically, 12 a day, and for time to also do shields. And we're talking about like a 14-hour day. So that's not even one panel worth, right? I believe that my worst case scenario for this pick and place machine is going to be, maybe my first board I do, I'll get 1 board in a day because of all the problems. I don't know. Second day, I might get two panels. Sorry, panel, I meant, not board. But once I get this rolling, even if I can only do 3 panels a day, that's 4 times as many boards per day. So, that's potentially 60 boards a day. And that gives me enough time to do for the campaign and whatever to do, 1,500 boards and still potentially ship early. Well, I don't know. It depends how long it takes to get the pick and place machine. Who's gone? Who had to go? Someone had to go. James? Bye, James. Sorry. See you later. Oh, no. Different James. Someone left. I'm sorry. I didn't say goodbye. Couldn't you get a pick and place young person? A young person to do what? To run the pick and place or to actually hand assemble the boards? Or to do inspection? And when you mean young person, you're not talking about my kids. I hope. I wouldn't trust my kids. What happened to my blue cutting mat? I had to take photos and videos and stuff for the campaign, and my blue mat's got solder marks and scratches and crap all over it. My green one's also already getting a bit dirty, but nowhere near as dirty as my blue one was. And I didn't want to put pictures up on the crowd supply campaign of dirty cutting mats. Something on the antenna like tape. The amount of time it will take me to put tape on the antenna to pick and place it and then take the tape off, I can also hand place them. And that's just fraught with danger. Like, I don't know yet. Maybe probably could bend the antenna back the other way if when I pull the tape off. I really don't know. Rubber soft tweezers could help with antenna placement. The antenna looks very hard to pick up with regular tweezers. There's a balancing point right in the middle, so I put the antenna away. It's possible to do. There's a balancing point, and I'm pretty good at grabbing at the right spot now. You use trays and then pick and place. Yes, I can use trays, and as I said, I can also custom make my own strips, like my own thing. So I could potentially stick another 20 or 30 parts on that machine, in the open area where. Once I get it, I'll show you once I get it. Like, if you look at this picture here, will that go big? Yes. Right, so the board squeezes between these two. Why is that not updating? High res. These two metal lines here, you separate apart and your board fits in there. You can see there's a tiny little board in there. And then, so technically, if that's all the board space you've got, I've got all this area in here that I can place custom parts. And there's a whole bunch of holes everywhere, so I could put mounting things in there, and I could put parts in there, short strips of all sorts of stuff. Oh wow, lots of stuff just went past. Hit the blue arrow. Sorry, I missed what that was about. In your silicon soldering mat. I've got a anti-static stuff on the way, finally, yes. And component placement apprentice. Yeah, I would not get an apprentice to hand place stuff, no. Not this small and this close together. It's quite stressful and quite hard. Like, you go to fix the position of one resistor and you knock 2 caps out the way. Like, it's maybe on the shields, sure. Maybe I could get someone to help me with the shields. But then, even a young apprentice person, it's still more money I need to spend with margins I don't really have. Can you show the test jig? Yes, I will. I'm going to do that now. We need to move on. Can you 3D print a holder for the antenna to be picked up? Well, no, because the antennas are going to be in strips, like in tape. Like I won't be able to. No, there's no way to pick up. You can't interfere with the pickup system. I'm not going to be able to do the antenna. That's okay. I'll try. I'll see what happens with it. Maybe for the antenna I can really slow the head down and up movement. I don't know. I'll try, but if I can't, I can't. Do I have any estimation for TinyPICO how many boards I can cover with 50 gram solder paste? I got no idea. What I do know is I bought jars of the 250 grams of this stuff. I have a lot of solder paste on the way. Now that you bought the pick and play, can you relax your mind? So it was definitely a lot, not just a pick and place machine. So yesterday, yeah, as I said, I spent a lot of money. I bought all my. There's still two parts I need to order from Mauser, but I bought all my parts, everything on reels. The biggest order I've ever done on LCSC. Crazy. And not everything came from LCSC. I feel much more relieved now that I have a plan in place that will cover me if the campaign goes even further than maybe I think it might. But now I've got the stress of how soon can I get it? Oh, someone asked a question before, how long will it take me to get up and running with it? People are telling me about a week. From unpacking it to getting my first fully successful board out, it'll take me about a week, they say. Now, the good news for me is I don't have to start with a TinyPICO, right? I could start with a panel of... Let me just switch back. Okay, you're going to start laughing in a second. I could start with a panel of these. Anyone want a proto shield? Right? So, you know, these proto shields, they've got three buttons. We're going to focus, maybe. They've got 3 buttons and 2 resistors, right? 2 different parts. And there are 12 per panel, right? So I could start with just with this. Get my calibration right for 2 parts. Unfortunately, neither of those parts are on the TinyPICO, which sucks. But in terms of learning how to use the machine, learning how to get this stuff over from Eagle, learning how to tell it to panelize and pick up speeds and registration, if I muck up some of these boards, not a big deal. If I have to pull the parts off, clean the board, repaste it, and try again, if I end up losing 100 or 200 resistors and buttons, it's not a big deal, right? So I can start small. Ideally, I'd like to do all of my shields, the surface mount stuff on my pick and place as well. But obviously, the TinyPICO is the limit. Is the priority, right? I need to be able to reliably 100% do all my TinyPICOs. So up until that point, I'm still hand assembling shields, and I will continue to do that right now. Would be cool to have a 24/7 stream of what week? Oh my god. Well, it might be sooner. I don't know. There's a lot of really helpful people out there that I can call on. I actually been introduced to someone who is also in Melbourne that has this particular machine. His name's Blair, and he's willing to, I can chat with him whenever I need to. There's a really great mailing list called Desktop Pick and Place of people who use these machines. SparkFun are on there and stuff, and I've been chatting with a lot of those people there help me make my decision. So it might be quicker, I don't know. I'd like to think I'm a pretty smart person and I can work out a lot of stuff, and I know what issues I'm going to have going in. It's not like I'm going to get surprised when I can't get the tension right on the tape, right? I know that's going to be a problem. It's going to take me a long time to tweak that. But the other advantages of having reels is that once the part's in and tweaked, it should work okay 95% of the time. It'll just be tweaking everything and getting it right to start with. You might have answered, but Mr. Can you close the crowd supply early if you limit? Oh, I didn't see that question. I probably can. I could probably... Sure. But at this point now, as I said earlier, you might have missed it for those that missed it. At this point now, because of how much I'm all in, I need to do as many TinyPICOs as possible. I really need to. It's not a greed thing. It's not anything else. I really need to do well over 1,000. I think my break-even point now is going to be about 1,500 TinyPICOs. That's break-even. So, but that's only 3 times what I've done now, and the campaign's got 37 days to go. So it could absolutely happen, right? So lots of stuff just got... Oh, Gary. Hey, Gary, you got your solder from IRS. Is that the stuff that Greg was talking about last week? That I haven't ordered any. I might. Yeah, Blair is only half an hour drive away, I believe. And yes, he's already offered that if I've got problems with stuff, I might be able to run some stuff on his machine. But the problem with that is it could take 2 days to load the parts and retweak all of his feeders to be able to run something on his machine, right? And by doing that, he has to remove all of his parts that he's got tweaked. The nice thing about removable feeders is you don't have those issues. With this, every time I have to change a part, I'm back to square one. I have to redo all the calibration for that part, software, feeder entry, tensioning, and everything from scratch, right? So that's why I don't want to put just strips of stuff in there. I need to put reels in there. Talking about, as far as I understood, you have I don't have to reset up the P&P. I have to reset up the calibration for the heads every time I put a new board in, right? Because once I put the board is, a 1/4 millimeter out compared to where it was last time, that for some of my parts can make a difference. You can rely on surface tension a little bit to pull the part back in place. Some of my parts I can't. The SOT 883, I cannot rely on surface tension for. They have to be dead smack on, or they're completely off. They'll reflow off, and I have to hot air them off and put them back on again. Sorry, lots of stuff gone past. Even if the chips and turn, I need manual. That's right. It's still going to be faster. Even if I have to do half the board manually, it's still going to be faster. So yes, I think so. Yeah, I might miss people at the end. My biggest concern really with the campaign is the shields. They're obviously the most popular. 80 claimed shields compared to, and 56 compared to 44, 68, and 38, right? Obviously, I knew the single would be the least. I'm actually surprised there were 38. Oh, sorry, I didn't switch. I'm actually surprised that there were 38 people bought a single TinyPICO, to be honest. But I'm worried about the shields. To me, the shields really add value, which was my intent. And clearly people like the shields. And if I run out of shields, I think that's going to stop people from wanting to buy TinyPICOs, personally. 6:30. My God, it's almost 8 o'clock. Wow, and I've got stacks of stuff to hand. I was going to hand solder today. I'm still going to do it. Okay, I'm going to get a move on. Planning on a video of your trials and tribulations, the sort of downside. So, hey Rob. Look, I'll be honest with you right now. I can't see myself having any time to make any videos right now. I'm going to absolutely stream every week so I can update people what's going on. But I just don't have any time right now, which is just crazy. I really don't. I don't want to. I'm not going to abandon my channel, and I'll see if I can get something out. But right now, I don't know. If I do any videos, they're going to be really rough and raw. Okay, I'm going to quickly jump into some stuff. First, I'll quickly show you these. So these are the 2 jigs I made for assembling my play shields, which I'm so regretting making these play shields. They have got so many steps to doing the play shield. I do a panel at a time, right, of surface mount. So I assemble that, I reflow it, then I pull them apart, and then I test each one, all the surface mount components, to make sure it can find the LIS chip, make sure the speaker works, it goes beep, 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 whatever, and I know it's all working before I do anything else. Then I need to hand solder the JST I need to do, and that's just a pain. It's got to be hand soldered, only because I don't have a stencil for the back, and once I put JST connectors on the back, I can't rework the front. Does that make sense? So yeah, I hand solder the JST. Do you anticipate? Yeah, there are lots of shields being made by other people right now. Or when I say lots, quite a few. A lot of people trying to sneak under customs radar. Maybe. I don't know. Sorry if I've missed any comments. Really, I'm really sorry. I'm just, going past you. There is shit, but I'm going to let them announce them. I'm not going to announce them. There are other people who are going to be announcing their stuff, and once they've done that, I will have. So on my TinyPICO website. Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to be drawn back into. Okay? Promise. TinyPICO.com. I have a page I've added, which is empty right now, which is for add-ons. And all of my shields will go there, and anyone else that makes a shield for TinyPICO, assuming that they're either selling it or they're releasing the files for it. You don't have to, by the way. If you want to make yourself a shield and just for you, that's cool. Hey, Paul. But if you make a shield and you want eyes on it, I'll be listing them all on here, right? And if it's something that you sell, I'll put a link to your store, no problem. If it's something you're just giving away as files, I will have a link to the GitHub repository for you. Anyway, yes. So that'll build, but I have not even, look at this, I have not even yet put an announcement on here that it's launched. Do you have any? Hey, I'm not Chuck. I mentioned earlier on that I'm going to try to ship early, at least for a bunch of the first backers. I don't know yet. I don't know. My aim was to always ship early, but I never thought I was going to be doing these type of numbers, so I don't know yet. That 25th of July is my and Crowd Supply's worst case scenario. We had to put the worst case scenario because I didn't want to ship late when it was actually on time. But yes, I'm trying my best to go faster. I honestly am. I don't want people to wait. I really don't. Anyway, so anyway, JST goes on, and then I need to put these on. And why is that so dark? And these are such a pain to get straight. So I made this jig. So I put the headers in, right, and it's pretty tight. And so all the plate shields are going to come with male headers already attached because you can't hand solder them on afterwards. I don't want to ask people to hand solder these. I know you did. I'm not Chuck, and I'm going to do my best, okay? But I'm not going to promise anything because I'm swamped. So yeah, I built this jig, and now, yeah, it basically, I mean, obviously that's a panel. It'd be individual by then, but that just goes on like, God, I can't see with this lighting, like that. And then I can solder much quicker, and everything's nice and straight. And then I've got this one here, which is done for the screen. So it's got a lower side on here for the header pins, and it locks in like this. If I can, no, I can't see straight. Locks in like that, and the screen is locked in from the two side bits, as you can see, and then I solder that on, and I get a mostly straight OLED. You know, a couple of them maybe, you know, if you've got a really good measuring thing, you might see that it might be half a degree out. Like that one to me looks like it might be half a degree out. I don't know. It's definitely good enough. Hey there, Hope. So, I was going to hand solder a whole bunch of these OLEDs today, and I still might, but let's look at this TFT. Everyone, you ready for the TFT? Wow. This TFT thing is important because I don't think we're going to solve it today, but I want people's feedback and thoughts because it's a really weird problem. Okay, TFT, we're ready? So, and you need to let me get through this before everyone starts throwing their thoughts, okay? Please, let me show you the problem properly before you start guessing or giving, you might not, I don't know. Anyway, so, this is my new Reflow Master, which is just the same Reflow Master, but it's got the QFN, where this is my old Reflow Master, which again is identical, but it's got the QFP, right? There's a couple of other changes with using transistors, but they're identical. They run the same code. Yes? Everyone clear? Now, I've got my new TFTs turned up, and I've got my old ones look like this. Oh god, a bit dirty. It's okay, it's just a plastic. My old ones look like this, and my new ones look like this. They're both ILI. What are they? 934, blah, blah, whatever they are. New caps. Oh, here we go. Guys. Anyway. But they're both the same, but the new one's got an extra transistor. Don't know what it is. Neither of them have got the touch screen. Right? But they're the same driver. New one is cleaner. You guys are an absolute cack. So here we go. I'll show you the problem first. But just wait. You need to wait, please. I don't think you are, though. No one's going to wait. So I plug it in. Okay. Need more cable. Turn it on. It boots. Okay. It's showing that because there's no probe connected. Now, as soon as I hit a button, hear that beep? The screen goes white. But it's still running, right? I can go, I'm back at the main menu. I can go into settings. I can go down. I can go up. I can go out. I can even hit start and it'll start reflowing. But the screen is forever white. So I thought there was a problem with the board. But, wait for it. If I take the old screen, turn it on. We all have ADHD. We do. Alright? Settings. Okay, this one works fine. So then I thought, oh, wow, it's the screens. The screens. I can't believe this whole new batch of screens are dead, right? But if I take the old board and put the new screen on it, the new screen works fine. So the screens are they're all powered with 5 volts, not 3.3 volts. Although the data on them is obviously 3.3 volts. But the only, there's, circuitry-wise, there's no difference between the TFTs. Nothing changed there between the two boards. And the new screen works on the old device and the old screen works on the new device. But the new screen doesn't work on the new device, but it boots. It boots fine. As I, it's like, I'd understand if there was nothing there at all when it boots. Looks like bad data, but how's it bad data? The old screen works, and it's working fine until I push a button. These are the SPI ones. The screen's working fine. There's no bad data. I mean, I don't think it's a circuitry issue because it works perfectly fine on the old screen. I've actually got a third old screen, a different type of screen again. It's got a crack through it that I tried and that works. I can't find it though. I don't know where I put it. It might be inside the house. So, ever so slight differences to the new TFTs. Yeah, it's like, and so I've tried different drivers. So I haven't tried a completely different library. This is using the Adafruit library. My next step was going to be to just take this setup and get rid of the code on there and just look at some other library drivers to see if that works. But my whole code base is using the Adafruit library, right? So that's going to be a massive change to code. Scope your SPI lines and power while you press the buttons. I haven't yet. I don't have access to those pins easily. I would have to probably make an extender, a riser, to be able to get into the pins. And I can do that. I haven't done that yet, right? And to be honest, like I don't have time to solve this, really. I thought maybe someone might have seen something like this before. I was hoping. By the way, I know that I know a lot of messages have gone past. I've seen this. So Ian thinks he might have seen this issue before. Just soldered bodge wires. Send me one and I'll figure it out. Haha. Maybe a pull-up. Could the new one be more sensitive? It may be. I don't know. Like it could absolutely be a noise and data problem specific to these new screens, but I wouldn't know what it is because, like, like it's not like I'm routing stuff in loops and circles everywhere. Like I've got the clearest data lines to my buttons and to the screen, and I've got no crossover or anything, and you know, and the fact that it boots like this, and it's only when I push a button, and it stays white after that, but everything is still working. I thought it was possibly a short somewhere or whatever. Like I spent a bit of time on it under the microscope, but until I solve it, the problem is I've only got one of these, and I've got a whole stack of these screens. So until I solve it, I can't release any new reflow. I'm out of stock right now, and I've got people waiting, and I can't release it. But I've also got no time right now with the campaign. So the question was, what's the different transistor on the back? I don't know. I mean, they're both just transistors, but one's got one and one's got two. All the pinouts are the same, and there's clearly some level shifting here that maybe isn't happening elsewhere, but I can't see where that's from because it doesn't show me where the trace is going to. So I'd have to cut that trace, scrape off the solder mask off the top of the trace, and try to trace it back to see which pin that's going to. And that's clearly looks to me like a level shifter there. So that's got a level shifter. That looks like it's got two level shifters, but I don't know. I'm sure it's a corrupted data issue. Levels or use full times out of balance. Pinout might not be the same. No, the pinout's the same. I checked that already, straight away. And as I said, it works. The pinout's right. I mean, the screen works. And I've tried every screen I've got. They all do exactly the same thing. No, I can't see what pin the new transistor is going to. It's being routed to the other side of the board. Yeah, as I said, I'd have to cut back the solder mask and be able to trace it backwards. And I can do that. I don't think it's a power issue specifically because it's being powered by 5 volts. I thought maybe, it might be how you power the LCD backlight. Or it could be a reset line issue. Yeah, I don't know. I need to do a lot of digging, but I was hoping maybe someone might have seen something like this before and might have an idea what it is. Show it again with the faulty screen. This is the faulty screen. As soon as I hit a button, the screen lights up. It just goes white. Yeah. Anyway, that's my TFT problem. I can absolutely probe it out, but I don't know when. I really absolutely have no time to do this right now. I need to know what that resistor's doing. What the transistor's doing. I know. Yes. But it's not going to happen today, and it's probably not even going to happen for the next few weeks. And if it just looked like that when I plugged it in, then I'd be looking at my board. But I'm not convinced yet that it's a data corruption issue. If anything, it could absolutely be a reset issue. Like if you don't have the reset line connected properly when you boot these boards, that's what they look like. As it works on the old assembly, there's supply line bypass. Well, there's no bypasses that I know of, but I could potentially take one of these transistors off and see what happens. I'll have to obviously bridge them. I might be able to do some surgery on this to get it working. I don't know, but I'd really prefer not to have to do that. Does your board have a reset switch? It does, and it's underneath. Very hard to get to. Let me see if I can get to it. Oop. So I'll do it on camera so you can see what happens. Okay. And reset restarts it, but obviously. Schematic. The schematic's different now. That's obviously that was for the QFP version. The QFN version's got it's different, obviously, because I had to reroute some stuff and I put some extra transistors on. Let me see if I can grab it. What drive? It's the ILI. What is it? 19. Hang on. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. I'll tell you in 1 second. I can find where I put it. ILI 9341. I can never remember that number. Try remove the screen, update code after button push, and see what? Update code after button push. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's going to do. Any extra pins connected to the new TFT board that is floating? No, it's exactly the same pin out. It's the same pin out on the headers, and nothing changed on my schematic and my board layout for it. Other than I had to, I changed some routing, but that's, 1 second, I'm pulling up the file so you can have a look at the schematic. Oh, an Eagle update came out. Reflow master. Okay. OBS switch. So this is, the schematic is almost the same. Like in terms of the TFT, the schematic's the same. The only real difference with this version, as I said, is the QFN, and I added some transistors in for some stuff. Solder a dirty grate cap across the power pins. It's definitely going back to power upstate when the screen goes white. Yeah, I think, yeah. Wonder if it's a reset issue. Hang on a second. So I'm just looking. Have I... Mosey DC reset. So I've got reset connected to D1, not to the actual reset. Wonder if the state of D1 is getting changed somehow. What's ta-da? Oh, hey Stephen. Hey everyone. Yay! Check the TinyPICO I have it. It's a slightly different PCB design again, but works with your code. Pins 10 to 14 are not connected. No, they are the touch input, which of course there's no touch on these screens. Code to allow a delay from the TFT reset on changing page. So I need to update my code to allow a delay from reset and pin modes are the two things I remember. So which code are you talking about, Chris? Are you talking about the library code? That does not help. No, that doesn't help. No, that's fine. Julian's all about big caps. But I'm interested to see what Christopher is talking about. You say update my code. I don't have any code that does a reset anywhere, so I would assume you're talking about updating the Adafruit libraries code. Let's make sure I'm actually passing it. So I'm just going to bring this over here so you can see what I'm looking at. I've not set your code, but normally I have a delay after setting the TFT controller. What do you mean by setting the controller? Sorry, I don't reset the controller ever. That's all handled in the library. That's what I'm saying, right? I'm using the Adafruit TFT, Adafruit ILI library. So, hey Brian. Oh, you missed all the fun, Brian. So, well, there's still some fun. Let me see, make sure I'm actually hooking up the reset. Sorry, I'm just scrolling really quickly. I apologize. Where's my TFT? Here we go. TFT reset. Where's my TFT reset? Right, D1 is my TFT, right. Find this TFT.reset. I don't have a TFT.reset. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let me look. I can look at the Adafruit library. Jumping D1 to 3 point, just in case. The reset line shouldn't need a lot of current. I can't jumper it easily, no, because it's a QFN. Can't get to the pin. I'd have to do it from... Well, I can do it from the back of the board, obviously. The other thing, this board gets really warm. This screen gets much warmer, I think, than the other ones do. Or maybe not. Maybe I just haven't really held them much. I don't have an easy way of... Well, I could. Anyway, I'm not going to jump at that now. I'm going to have to debunk this, obviously, later. Because right now my focus is elsewhere. But yeah, I wanted to... Now, look, it's great. Now I've got a whole bunch of things I can look at. Christopher's suggestion, obviously, of looking at the driver and maybe putting delay in after the reset. I was thinking of another profile for the... Now Julian's thinking reset. Yeah, it could be the reset. And maybe I need to just tie the reset to the actual reset pin of the chip. It's just strange that I didn't need to do that before with all the other screens. And I've sold a lot of reflow masters, right? And the screen that does work here, that's the second type of screen I've had. I mean, I've had, every time I order screens, I get something different. This is the second type of screen I had. The first one was like this. See how this got blue here? The first one I had yellow here. This one has just nothing, just black. And then these ones have got the blue. They've made I just updated the Adafruit library yesterday. Monday, just to check that. I was actually on... sorry, I've checked 3 different revisions of the Adafruit library. It's not that. Although it might still be able to get fixed with it, but... I wonder if I can pass reset -1. I don't know what will happen if I do that. Reset -1 normally means normally means it's tied to the chip. Let me see. Check or output the identifier. I don't think there's a read register. Okay. Right. What driver are you using, Christopher? Because there's no read register. Not public anyway, for the Adafruit library that I know about. So, what's the voltage on reset? And if 3.3 volts, is it pulled up? It's probably not pulled up, no. But, let me think. No, I don't have it pulled up. There is. You scrolled past it. I've got a TFT var. Yes, I don't have read register. I'm pretty sure there's no read register. It's not the variable. It's the library. Are you using the Adafruit library? That's what I'm asking. Like the Adafruit library, they generally don't expose anything. They try to make it as you know, for dumb people. You're using the Adafruit library. Okay, let me have a look then. Just go back to here. Put this back. So what am I doing? A read register. What's that going to tell me? Out of interest. Oh, stop scrolling. I'm going to copy and paste. Just toggle the GPIO on reset. What do you mean toggle the GPIO on reset? Sure, I can add a pull up. So after I grab my, so you want me to just print what it is? Right, I probably want to put this after. God, I could really do some code completion right now. And I really need to do some soldering. What's the part number of the new TFT? There's no part number. It's a TFT from Ali. Come on, guys. There's no part number on it. It's a random generic nothing from Ali. There you go. Okay, I need to change my board. Tools. I think I'm on TinyPICO right now. Pico kit need to go filler. And port. Okay. See what it prints. If it prints anything at all. Okay, booted. Oh, I bet I don't debug on. Ah, that's annoying. Okay. Let's try that again. Sorry. Stand back. This might go bang. Okay. Member has no member name read register. I told you there's no read register. Adafruit doesn't have anything like that. So there is no. So you can't be using the Adafruit library unless you've modified it or something. You probably just toggle the GPIO that is tied to the reset pin after doing the init. Yes, they sell a ton of TFTs and they're all different. So that's the whole problem. I didn't know. I ordered from the same supplier I ordered last time. Yeah, but I don't want to change drivers. If I'm going to change drivers, I need to. Yeah, that's a much bigger thing. I ordered this one from the same supplier I got these from, and I got these. So clearly, it's potluck. So the reset line will be an output, right? It still doesn't make sense. The way their code works for what I'm doing, there's no show command, right? It's not like I fill a screen with stuff and then I say show and then it shows the screen. I can write to the screen at any time and it updates the screen. So there is no, I mean, there might be an internal page update, but it would triggered it 100 times already. Like if I had a probe connected to this. 1 second. I'm just going to change to big screen. Do a second new board. I've tried all my new boards. All the new boards do exactly the same thing. So if I stick the probe on here, whoops. Looks like the stream's going long today, folks. That's okay. Red and yellow. Okay, it's sideways and I can't see what I'm doing. Low sets its output. and high. Loader reset. Right, so if it says output to high, well, I don't know when it does its reset though. Remove button event, upload code, and try pressing the button to see if it's a hardware issue. I can do that. I'll do that in a second, but let me just... I didn't want to spend this much time on this. Anyway, so now that there's a probe connected, you'll see the values... Like it just updates itself, right? If I touch the probe... Whoa, where's the end of the probe? There it is, right? See, the value's changing. I breathe on the probe, it's going up. The screen's updating, it's refreshing. 6 years old. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not going to go to that one. Bang, gone. Okay, let me just reset it. Just do another. The drama is the rain harvester. There is no reset. Right? There's nothing. Yeah. Thanks. I'm not going to hack their library right now. There is no, I can't call reset. There's no reset. The library does all that, right? And I don't have to do it after the init function because it's working. Okay, the drama is that I'm not sure you're understanding the problem, Rain Harvester. I mean, it's working. Like if I had to do a reset after the init, this wouldn't be happening at all. Oh, I do want to keep to the LCD reset. Because I don't know why. I mean, this was designed a very long time ago, and I don't know why I didn't connect it directly to the reset of the IC. There might have been a reason way back, and so in this case, yeah, the reset is connected to D1, and the library controls D1 because I pass it that, or IO1 because I pass it that as part of the initialization. Anyway, I'm gonna try one more. I'm just gonna do one thing. I'm gonna get rid of button tick 1. It's button tick 2, which is the one I've been pressing, and just re-upload. Oh no, I won't. I need to get rid of that setup. That was silly. Because that won't work. Okay, I'm just re-uploading now. Okay, everyone's getting really frustrated here. Please don't. As I said, I was not planning on solving this now. The fact that I've even got code up and running I'm putting on here was not what I wanted to do today, right? I've mentioned it 20 times. I'll get to this when I can. Right now my priority is the campaign and TinyPICOs. So it's great everyone's throwing do this, do that, do this, do that. Please don't get frustrated if I don't listen or do what you ask. My intent is not to. So, button, it's not a hardware issue, right? Because I've disabled that button. It's not a short or anything else, but I already knew that because I'd already checked all that. But any other button makes it go gaga. I know you're not frustrated, Andy. I think the rain harvester is. And please don't be. Okay, anyway, I've got things I can try, I've got things I can look at. My fallback is I can always get another driver. I personally think it's whatever the changes happen here, it's driver related. I don't believe that I have to remove the reset from D1, personally. No, don't be sorry, don't be sorry. Just don't... Brian's freaking out. Just don't get frustrated. I don't want you to be frustrated. I'm not frustrated with you. I just don't want you to be frustrated with me, right? Like it's this is super low priority. I honestly believe it's obviously an incompatibility between the driver and the screen, and it may be fixable by making some changes in the Adafruit library. The risk of that is then I'll have a custom library that other people won't have, and so if they go and update the code themselves, they'll have a screen that doesn't work. But I also don't particularly want to move to a different library because then I have to split the code base, and then some people, because there are people out there that have reflow masters that use that flash it themselves if they want to change profiles. They're not going to know which software they need to use. I mean, I could try to label it as clearly as possible, but they might not know, right? So I don't want to cause a split in the software, which is the exact reason, I'll tell you honestly, the exact reason why this board still has all of my pull downs on the buttons, like this one did, instead of removing them, because then I would have had to do pull downs in code, and then the code would have had potentially had compatibility problems between the different boards, right? The beep might create a glitch. You think it might be the beep? Yeah, I can look at that. Maybe. I've got quite a few things I can look at, but I'm going to... yeah, sorry, I was just reading. I'm gonna put this aside for now. Yes, and I'm going to turn my iron on. That should make Julian happy. Red ID, wow, they made it easy for you. Surprising that they made it easy, Adafruit. The nice thing is I've got this chat, so I can go back. It could be from the buzzer. I mean, the change between the two boards are that I've got a transistor now and I'm passing 5 volts through the buzzer instead of 3.3. But, yes, Julian, that's because I'm using 5 volts through the buzzer now. But the old screen works fine, so there's still a problem with this screen. Like the two old screens work fine. So 2 out of 3 different screens don't have a problem with it. But this screen does. So it's still a deficiency on the screen. Like, even though I can potentially fix it, it's still pretty sucky, right? So, yeah, so I'm going to solder up some of these because I want to do some soldering. So you can have a laugh at have a laugh at my soldering. If you test with the graphics test, it should eliminate one of the possible issues. Yeah. There are quite a few things that I already planned to look at doing, and I just, again, it's such a... Every time the numbers on my campaign goes up, I keep deciding I've got other more important things to do. So I might have a bunch of these that I need to put screens on. So I'm going to do that now. Silkscreen can lie. I think it has to do with the pinout. I don't think it does, the shaker, because the screen works. There's data on the screen. And I get data back from the screen. So I know that the DC, CS, MISO, MOSI are all fine. I know the backlight power is fine because it's lighting up. I know the power and ground is fine. And, the only other pin's the reset pin. So, yeah, I don't think it's a pinout issue at all, personally. Okay, I don't know how many I'm going to do. Let's start off with 4. And I need some TFTs. Any other tangents we should go down? It's okay, I just wanted, yeah. Maybe I should have stated clearer at the start that I was not planning on solving it today. Unless someone turned around and said, oh yeah, you need to do blah blah, and I've seen that before, blah blah. What? Have we got more backers? No way. Oh my god, I just dropped one of these on the ground. Black on black. Found it. No. 401. God, imagine if we get to 500 while the stream's going. Oh my god, did it again. I keep throwing these things on the floor. Okay, I'll find that later. So, simulate the button press or do it in the console. Easy test. Okay, but I'm doing this now. So, I'm going to do a bit closer. Okay. So have I shown everyone that, yeah, so that's the screens. see if I can stay in. My camera's not straight, I don't think. Anyway, focus. Good. So yeah, I built these standoffs. Did I show this already? I think I did. Might have shown it last stream. So I put this. Oh, it's got fluff on it. Nothing worse than fluff on the standoff. So I put my little standoffs in, and I put the screen in. Because you see there's a bit of give because of the holes, and I don't want to hand out screens that are wonky like that. That'd be terrible. We need closure to this problem. Well, you might have to hang around for a while to get closure, like a while, because I really have some more important things to do right now. Things that are keeping me up at night. So it's a bit fiddly to get on, but once it's on, what I do then is I get my blue tack. I could go a bit of rum. A bit of rum right now? Really? Okay. So I go like that, hold it, I try to hold it still. And, okay, let's get my solder. Wow, can't find the end of my solder. There it is. You told about it earlier. What was the question? Tell us about your pick and place. Yeah, I did an extensive talk about my pick and place to the point where I wasted a good, oh, maybe not wasted, spent a good hour on it, I think. Okay. Now, normally I'd pick it up and check that it's straight, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. Famous last words. The blue tack is really bugging me. I don't know why. That's not where I normally put it. And I'm not normally trying to do this under a camera. Wow. Awkward. Okay. One board done. No. Not enough paste on that last pin. Come on, folks. Why didn't you tell me? Can't believe I called it paste. Not enough solder. Okay. Better. So, is it straight? Yes! Straight screen. Now, these have all been tested already. Every OLED's been tested. Remember my story last week? Oh, didn't put that on. Had to test every OLED. Every OLED's been tested, and every one of these screens, this has been tested. What I do, plug the TinyPICO in, right? You're gonna love this one. And I grab my, hang on, let me just put this in. So to test these boards, I put my TinyPICO in, and I go like that, and I hold the screen up, and it boots up and shows the logo and stuff and beeps and whatever, and then I go, yes, the board works. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, the jig works out really nicely. Totally essential. I tried doing them by hand, getting them straight, like doing one pin and straightening it. It was a nightmare. It just took forever. So, yes. But getting the jig on is a little painful. And I should have made the base a bit bigger so I could lock it in easier. That's better. That's what I did last time. Okay. It moves around a little bit, which is also a bit frustrating. There's no weight to it, obviously. I've been doing a lot of 3D printing. Jigs and holders. I'm now printing my antenna holders for my TinyPICOs. 100 at a time. 2-pack. Woohoo! Yes! So does that mean have we got to 500 boards yet? Has anyone done the count? Taper the tips. Taper the jig tips. These ones here. Yeah, I could, but there's not a lot of resolution on the printer, I guess. I don't want to snap them. Whoa, 208. Someone said to account, it should be 493. Okay. Hope we can get to 500 on the stream. That'd be most excellent. Screen straight? Yes, it is. Wow. I'm not sure why I'm surprised, because, you know, that's exactly why I built this jig. I have to say my least enjoyable thing with electronics is hand soldering. By far. So, and these play shields are an absolute pain. Like the headers. And there's just so many steps with it. But, you know, what you gonna do? And I've also found some of the screens have got slightly bent pins, which definitely makes getting them straight hard. Normally I can get it into the jig easier. I'm doing it under camera right now, so it's a bit harder to see what I'm doing. I'm sorry for ordering play shield. You already told me that, Brian. Don't no one be sorry for ordering a play shield. It's yeah, like it's really not the worst thing in the world for me to have to do, really. I mean, I probably could have designed it so I could have supplied the headers separately and made you solder it on, but no. The other shields, obviously the headers are separate. So will that come off? A bit of white, because I don't want to clean these again. Oh yeah, that just comes right off. Excellent. Because these have already been cleaned. So I don't want to clean them again. What does the pink tack do? It does everything everything blue tack does, but in pink. Does that make sense? It would be a shame not to make a good use of the jig. The fact that I have to make a jig, you know, but definitely worth it. Jigs are, sorry, I'm just doing that off screen. Yeah, jigs make life much easier. And this one, that like, oops, this reduced the time for me to put headers on by about between 2 and 3 times. Because now I just put it down and solder it. Like, you know, soldering one pin on each and then lifting it up and then having to straighten them and then put it back down and solder another pin, lift it up and have to look. This was just best thing I ever did. Took a couple of revisions to get the tolerances perfect because I didn't want any wobble at all. This has a little bit of wobble, but when the PCB's on, it sits perfectly flush so that the straight bit of the plastic holds it still. So that was an absolute, yeah, that was the best thing I did. This jig definitely helps with keeping it straight, but it's only 4 solder joints, right? But that other one, whoa, huge difference. Just rewound. I thought it was this display. Now I see it was reflow screen. What? Oh, it popped out of the thing. Get back in. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how many of these you want me to do. I'm happy to sit here and... I'm going to do them anyway, so I'm happy to keep the stream going. Like these, I actually saved these to do them on the stream. They were supposed to be done yesterday. Also, I'm not using my low temp lead-free solder for this. I'm just using my normal Duratec. Straight. Oh, Brian's going. What? See, Brian, good night. Sorry, I missed that. Your pink tack is a serious question. Oh, no, it's the same. It comes in a packet of different colours. They're all blue tack. They're just coloured. Yeah. I don't think they do anything different. I just happened to pull out the pink ones last time. I don't know. I lose my blue tack a lot. Like here's some green that's just lying around. I keep misplacing blue tack. It's like, wow, why is it? Focus is terrible. It's like pens, right? Like no matter what you do, no matter how many pens you get, they just keep going missing. Well, the same with me in blue tack. Let me rephrase. What am I using it for? Right. Okay, I'll show you. I will show you right now. Sorry, didn't I already mention what I was using it for? Okay, so let me just get this on and then I will show you. I can't keep going all morning though, by the way. I need to, yeah, maybe another 20 minutes or so. Okay, so when the screen goes in, the screen's still got a bit of play, right? And now even when I put this on, even when I put it on, there's still a tiny little bit of play, right? Just because of the size of the holes. When I needed to give a little bit of room sideways on those sides to get the screen in, I didn't want to risk ripping the plastic off or scraping the PCB. I didn't want to not be able to get it back out again, right? So there's a tiny little bit of play in there, which means it is possible that I could come up with a screen that is on a slight angle. So what I do is I push the PCB this way. So the blue tack holds the PCB, so the pins are being pushed against the hole at the top of the holes, right? Which is straightening it because they can't wobble as much now because of the pressure on the pins. Does that make sense? Oh, hello, Matt. I did not. I have not checked my email. When did it come out? So that is what I'm using the pink tack for, blue tack, is to hopefully keep the screen straight. Let's find out if I kept it straight. I did. Now I could do one without the blue tack to show you what could happen, but then I'm going to have a wonky screen that I have to fix and I don't want to do that. So that's really all the blue tack's there for. I can't get to my email from here. Bummer. Really wanted about 10 to 20 pico, but with slow assembly right now, I feel it better to let more people get some. No, there's no difference on assembly. There's no assembly happening on TinyPICO right now. There's no slow assembly. Pick and place is coming, and everyone's going to get their pick and place. No, everyone's not going to get pick and place. Everyone's going to get their TinyPICOs, no problem. So, included a photo, awesome, and a link to the campaign. Hasn't really done much for the campaign. I guess maybe no one's watched it yet. Yeah, I don't know what you call early this morning. I've been at it since 5. Haven't checked my email, really. So, okay, more. I need more. I have no shortage. I need to start making my next set of boards. So, yeah, I've got panels of these to make today. I think we're at 493, Matt. Someone posted before. Something like that, 490 something. Very close to 500. This is so... Isn't this like so mind-numbing, everyone? That's what I feel like when I'm doing them. James, that's cheeky. Well, you can't do 7. You have to do a 1-pack and a 2-pack. No, a 1-pack, a 2-pack, and a 4-pack, right? No, don't do that. Please don't do that. I thought about making it bigger than a 4-pack. Maybe I should have. I don't know. Should I add a 10-pack? Like, I didn't want to add anything bigger than a 4-pack because I couldn't build them, right? But now it's a different story. So Should I introduce a 10 pack? The problem is there's not going to be much discount on 10 because the discount's only going to happen if I can get over 1500. No, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what my bomb cost will be because as I mentioned earlier, it'll scale. A 6-pack at the very least. Really? You think anyone would buy a 6-pack? I don't know if they would. $4.93 right now. That's pretty good. So yeah, I've ordered another. I can't remember if I ordered. Oh God, I've ordered some of the most ridiculous things. Can I tell you all what I've ordered? I feel like I want to stop. I want to show you. Okay, I have. Remember I said to you I was going to go look at the screen? 1 second. 1 second. So I currently need, based on the numbers from before the stream started, right? I need like 1,800 female stackable headers so far. I need 1,900 male stackable headers, like whatever, right? So yesterday, a part of my LCSC order, I ordered 6,000 female short pin hackable stackable headers. And I've ordered 5,000 stackable headers. I've ordered 2,000 40-pin strips of male headers that I cut up. Like, they are sending me boxes full of headers. My shipping fee alone was $200 from LCSC just for the shipping. Like, I have just ordered, I ordered 1,600 little silica gel packs. You know the little silica gel packs? I ordered 1,600 of them. Like, it's just, I'll link to my minute order. It'll be 6 months or more till I need over 10. Oh, right, okay. Well, by then I'll have them on Tindy and you'll be able to, like, they'll be, order as many as you want with price breaks. Don't eat them. No, I won't eat them. Yeah, I've ordered some serious numbers of stuff. It is because I can't run out. Like if I'm packing bags and suddenly go, oh, hang on, I don't have enough headers to, like, could you imagine if the thing that held up me shipping to Crowd Supply was I was short on header pins? Like that would just be, that'd be worst scenario for me. Especially with the female stackable headers have to come from AliExpress. And even paying extra to get them faster still makes them take 2 weeks. If I run out of those, it would delay shipping by 2 weeks. That would just be crazy. Like, anyway, so So I said, how many do I need? Oh, I need, what, 2,000? Okay, so let's triple it. Is what I did. Maybe a silica sandwich with pink tack. Oh, you guys love your pink tack. Okay, I'm only going to do, yeah, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 more over there, but I don't know. I might not do them on the rest of the stream. I might go back to chatting. And just so everyone knows, all of the soldering I've been doing, I've been using my exhaust thing. My Hacko clone exhaust thing. So, slowing down my brain damage a little bit. I'm going to, yeah, that's enough soldering for today. You'd have to fly to China again. I don't want to fly to China. Yeah. Wow. I'm just going to switch cameras. I can't tell you how exhausted I am. I really can't. Both mentally and physically. Sun's out. Yay! Working and doing a stream at the same time is not too hard. But chat went very fast today. That was tough. A 500 pack. Wow. A 50 pack and a 100 pack. Maybe one day. I don't know. It'd be nice. It would be really nice if that happened. But yeah. See you, David. Oh, we'll chat with you later. Have a good day or evening, afternoon, evening. I don't even know what it is. Haven't heard the crow. There's some other birds out there I can hear though. What did I miss? Did I miss anything? Was it winter? What is winter like here? Well, you know, like it doesn't snow in my backyard, but it can still get quite cold. You know, low single digits. If it's a really, really bad winter, then, you know, I mean, we've had negative numbers before. Thinking of streaming on my second channel. Do you have a second channel, Julian? What? You should start streaming more. The problem is you stream when I'm asleep, and your videos come out when I'm asleep, which is fine. I've been watching virtually no video. I have not even watched either Miranda's last video with his boat speed test. Like every week, without fail, I watch his videos, but nope, I've not even watched it. I am consuming no video content. I watched Bit Loonies yesterday because it was a quick one, and I think someone else's I watched was only a couple of minutes. Julian reviews. Yes, what will Julian review? Is that the name of it? Really? It seems like I've always got a runny nose these days, I think. It's like that cold that will just never ever go. So, I have some things I want to do. I want to do 2 shout-outs. I meant to do it at the start of the stream, and I didn't. I'm going to do it right now, because there's still people here, right? Yes. I need to do 2 shout-outs. Firstly, I want to do a big shout-out to Jennifer and everyone LCSC. They have been absolutely fantastic. I had a lot of dramas getting my parts. And they were just fantastic, because I needed parts on reels and they didn't have stock of everything, and so I worked out that what I could buy, that they would give me whatever they had left on reel and stuff. So I'm still getting parts on reels, but it might not be a full reel. So yeah, big shout out to LCSC and to Jennifer. Thank you so much. The other shout out, and this is again a massive shout out to Kimmy at Charm High. It was a couple of stressful days for me trying to work out what pick and place to buy, and she was absolutely fantastic, helping me through all the different options, getting me pricing and all the different things I wanted, and I was being quite pedantic as I can be, and quite like I kept chopping around, and she did it with a smile on her face. Well, it was via email, but you know what I mean? Like, she was quite happy to do it. She was great to work with, so big thank you to Kimmy and Charm High as well for organising my pick and place. So I wanted to do those 2 shout outs. It was really important for me to do, because I was stressed like, and they really made everything much easier for me. It's a big cheers on that. Wow, 9 o'clock. I have so much to do today. I don't even know where to start. I think I'm going to spend the day building, or at least the first few hours, building more play shields, because how many are we up to now? 50 something? 57, and I've only built 24 so far. I am currently out of parts for my RTC shield and my audio shield. I've got parts on the way. So Yaz has been packing stuff for me as well, which has been great. So like we have tubs and stuff. So this is that's the start of all my the 3-up shields. So like these are, how many are in here? They're 53. So these are fully packed. So the PCB, the 3D printed feet are in there, and headers. Right, so she's been pre-packing that. So, like, I'm out. I've got no PCBs. I've got another 300 on the way. I'm out of headers. I don't actually have any headers left to do this, to do the hand soldering. This is my last, the ones that are in here are my last set of headers. So, but I can do all the surface mount. Yaz has been very helpful. Oh, I was stressed, Matt says. Matt knows exactly how stressed I've been, because he's been my punching bag. So up here, it'd be easier if I can move the camera around. So that is, will that even light up? Can you see it? 50, 70 and 60 TinyPICOs, fully packed. But without cards. No pin-out cards yet. I still need to get them all printed. Oh, hello, Ben. Yeah. Oh, hey, Alan. Alan's here too, and Ben's here. So the reason we're pre-packing is it's the only way I can work out what I've got left. Like, I started out by having tubs of these headers and tubs of those headers and whatever else, and trying to count them all and keep track every time I take some out how many are left and updating a number. It was crazy. Like, it was once again doing my head in. So the best way for us was to just actually pack the bags. Right, a bag that's finished is a bag that's finished. It's done, right? I can count how many bags there are, and I know what things I need to do. So that's what we started doing. And yeah, Yaz has seriously got a lot of bags to pack. Hey, Christian. Thanks very much about the crowd supply campaign. Well, that's if we're going to sign them. Are we going to sign them? I don't know. So Matt and I don't know. I'll pick. Right, hang on. This stream is never going to end. I'm sure I've covered this before, right? So every TinyPICO comes with a pinout card, and every pinout card is hand signed by Matt and I. Wow, that's not in focus. Anyway, it's hand signed, and that seemed like a really good idea when we're only going to ship 200. I don't know if we're going to hand sign them all now, Matt. Maybe we'll digitally do it and print them that way. We thought it was a nice touch to hand sign them, like we did, but clearly that might be a bad idea now. Obviously not your financial signature. What does that mean? You have two different signatures, one for your financial stuff and one for general? Really? I've just got a signature. You're worried about people copying my signature? What are they going to do? Where can they possibly use my signature to get to my finances these days? Everything's digital. Wow. Julian's got a signature. Can you show us the difference? I like to see what the difference is between your two signatures. I agree it's a nice touch, Matt, but like it's going to take... You know how long it's going to take us to sign them? Maybe we sign them before we cut them this time, so we can do shit at a time. I don't know. Yeah, signing them was nice. Like, all the samples went out. These are the sample cards. So they say review sample on the top. They'll be identical to the ones that go out normally, but they won't say review sample. And I don't know why I did that. Anyway, because I could have used all these cards. But yeah, we'll see. I think you're pretty time poor, Matt, so I don't know when we're going to get a chance to sign them all. And there's going to be a lot of them. Yes, and I need to find a way of... Because I cut them all... They come on sheets and I cut them by hand, obviously, with a Stanley knife. I need to find someone with a guillotine to cut them for me, so I don't have to do that. I have two signatures for that as well. Less relevant these days. Yeah, I don't think it's overly relevant these days, but... A couple of long lunches. I think it might take a bit more than that. And maybe a few vodkas. Right, but printing the signatures means it's not hand signed. Like we wanted to hand sign them. Like you can tell when you look at them on the angle, like you can see the pen mark. Like it's, I don't know. If there's going to be a signature, it should be hand signed. I think. I think digital printing is a cop out. Laser cut those cards out. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah. In flames. Julian, can you show me? I'm still curious. I want to know. I want you to show me the difference between your two signatures. I'd like to know how you remember which one's which, but I like to see what they are. Wink, wink, wink. Paragraph and hand ticketing. Draw a bot to sign them. Well, Matt is a bot. You know that, right? Does anyone know that Matt's not a real human? Matt is a bot. So all of his are bot signed. Sure. Not really. Part of my sick mate guys at my work laugh. Looks like a $. And I'm an accountant. And we're at a Department of Finance. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Put a pen in a 3D printer and use that to sign them. Guy, I don't need to automate this process. I don't need to design another tool to do this. Right? Just 2 pens, Matt and I, bottle of vodka, some food, and off we go. Done. No one here has seen me, right? Well, everybody, this is what Matt looks like. There's a terrible picture of him too. I think it's a terrible picture of him. Matt never smiles. I don't smile in photos because it looks terrible. That's a. When I say terrible, it's like a. I don't know, Matt. I think you were trying to smile, but you just weren't feeling humorous at the time. I'm not sure. You don't need to, but that's not the point. What? Don't need to what? Yes, Matt was actually written in MicroPython. Well, my signature is pretty scrawly anyway. Like, I don't know. And Matt's just an M, an A, and 3 T's, right? I mean, how hard is that? I could probably sign Matt's for him. Design a tool to design... Yeah, no thank you. It's the reason I didn't want to build my own pick and place machine. Success is when you stop hand signing stuff. I don't know. I'm all about the little things. I'm all about the presentation and the... I'm glad you think it's a shocker of a photo. Yeah. Look like someone stuck a knife in your gut. Yeah, I'm all about the small touches. I think they make a nice difference. So... Come on, I want to get to 500. 500 on the stream would be awesome. I thought about putting a QR code on the cards, actually. I did. When Matt and I spoke about that would take you to the TinyPICO website. It's time. It's just time to do all this stuff and getting around to it. And as I said, I've not even updated the website in ages. You know, none of the new code stuff's on there. I still need to get the GitHub repository out. Oh, boy. I've still got, a few a-holes to reply to. It'd be nasty. No, I'm not replying to any of those. Small touches doesn't equal big money. What does that mean? Does that mean I'll never make big money if I keep doing small touches? Is that what you're saying, Julian? Don't tell me that. I really want to show you guys something that I've been laughing about. I don't know. I don't know if I should or I shouldn't. Graham Noobs 0. Why are you saying 0? 1 second. I'm going to have a think. Let me have a think if I'm going to do this. You just stop this. Just 1 second. No. Stop. Thank you. Just 1 second. Sort by newest. Oh, where is it? What? Just one sec, sorry. Where is it? Oh, it seems to have gone. No. Don't do it. It's like giving away. You don't know what I'm doing. Do you serialize the picos? I was going to number the TinyPICOs, not visually on the board, but because I run test code on them and put MicroPython on them, I was going to have a file on there that had the test results and a number, TinyPICO number. You know, you got number 1, number 2, number 3, or whatever. But yeah, it turns out, no, didn't do it. And most people are going to just plug it into the Arduino and flash it, and they're going to lose everything on there anyway. Interesting. What I wanted to show you doesn't seem to be there anymore, and I don't understand why. I'm pretty sure I didn't delete it, and I'm pretty sure I didn't hide it. He did post it twice though. Oh, it's gone. Maybe he deleted it. He must have deleted it. Wow. Okay, he deleted it. There was a comment that was posted on my video, my launch, TinyPICO's launch video. That was, wow. I wanted everyone to see it, but he must have deleted it. Damn, that's a shame. I've got a copy of it. I could show it. I can get it and show it. Does anyone want to see it? It's pretty good. It's the best comment I've ever had. You guys tell me. If you want to see it, I've got a screenshot of it, which I can grab from my other machine. Should I block out the name of the person? It's a generic name. I don't think anyone knows who it is. Yes, we have a photo of it. Hang on, let me, one sec. I gotta find it. Maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. If he deleted it, I'm gonna feel bad if I do this maybe now because he deleted it. Now. Wow, everyone wants to see it. Okay, hang on. It took every ounce of effort for me. Like, I thought it was hilarious, but every ounce of effort for me to not reply. Why would you do that to yourself? What did he do? What did he do to himself? To be honest, I'll start with Arduino ID on the Pico. Yeah, Matt's not going to like that. Okay, so let me just close that. It's not worth wasting your breath on. Yeah, we've discussed that, Colin. But still, this was... Okay, here we go. You ready? 3, 2, 1... Anyway, that was the comment. And I kept it for prosperity. Thank you for deleting it. John, whoever you are, if you watch this, I don't know. I mean, it seemed like a lot of silly questions because everything he needed to know was on my channel. So I like the kitchen table stuff though, because I do all my best work on the kitchen table. Hello, Charles. Have I said hello to you? Yeah, I was gonna make I said yeah, I was gonna make a card that just said credentials with my name on it and say here are my credentials. Anyway, I just I don't know. Does he not know what Krausfly is about? Look. He was just challenging me. Like I think I felt like what he was saying was, who are you to think you can, as a hobby, design a PCB and then sell it when you've got no skills? Like, you know what I mean? When you're not qualified to do so, was what he was basically saying to me. So, and all he had to do was look at my channel to know who I am and what I do and what my skills are and what my credentials are. So, you know, and maybe he did, and maybe that's why he took it down. I don't know. What was that? Who's this poster? Credential posting such a critique. Yeah, where are your literary literary skills? Where's your qualifications in writing? Anyway, it's fine. Yeah, if I was building military communication satellites or maybe control systems for nuclear power plants, give me a spirit where you do it on the table. That's funny. HMX, that's really cool. No, not my first trial. No, I've had stacks. That's fine. I've been challenged quite a lot in the past. That's okay. And I've had, you know, people emailing me about, you know, that it's illegal for me to sell these boards in America because of FCC and stuff, which is absolutely incorrect. And I, you know, replied back to them with all the links to FCC and CE about the fact how I don't need to. He's right, who are you? So what I almost did was wrote, and this was very funny. Yaz didn't get it because she's never seen The Princess Bride. Don't ask. But I was going to write back saying, who am I? I'm Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Was what I was going to write back to him. And that would have been hilarious. There was a sketch that you could upload to the Arduino and then use serial comms to turn on my pins. It's kind of predecessor to MicroPython a bit. A predecessor to MicroPython? Doesn't sound like it. Anyway. Anyway. Yeah, I've had a few nasty comments. That's okay. I've got thick enough skin. I'll take that off the screen now. Anyway, so I think it's time to go. I think it's time to wrap this one up because I might have a few things I need to get done today. And yes, and I said 2 hour streams. It's now been 3. A bit longer than 3, but that's okay. Yeah, sorry. And my mind's starting to scatter. And it's time for bed. 209 back. Oh, another one. What did they order? How many have we got now? No, that's not the right screen. Grassfly, where are you? Get to 500? No? What will Ian do for the rest of the day? I don't know. Aren't you working today? I might take the day off. No, I don't think so. Remember to give the people... Oh, yes. Everyone liked it, yeah. Or not. My like count's been very low on my streams recently. A 2-pack was ordered. Okay, so a bit closer. 95, 495 now. See you, Matt. I'll speak to you during the day. Have fun at work. Hope your day improves today. Thank you all. It's been a fun stream. Sorry I waffled a bit about the pick and place. But that's what I do. Waffle about pick and places. To everyone here that's backed the campaign, thank you so much. I honestly, I'm very humbled. For those of you that haven't, don't feel any pressure to do so. Please, whatever you do. No requirement for you to back it if you don't need one. But I ask everyone here, please, though, whether you're backing or not, if you haven't already, please can you help me get the word out of the campaign? Because as I said earlier, for those that missed it, I'm all in now with my parts and my time and my pick and place, and I need this campaign to now grow massively for me to have any chance of at least recouping what I've invested. So yes, please, Twitter, Facebook, or anywhere, friends, anyone that you know that plays with microcontrollers, maybe just let them know about the campaign. I would really, really appreciate it. Hey, Electron Ash. Wow. It took you 3 hours to get out of bed and get to the computer screen? That's terrible. Post on my Makerspace one. Thanks, Death Shaker. Awesome. I'm not already raised the Pico with 6 people work. Thank you. Thank you all that have already done that. As I said, like if you've already done it, awesome. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't and you can, yeah, just please help me spread the word. It's the most important thing that can happen right now. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go, except again, I don't know where my close button is. Oh, there it is. I got it this time. Ooh, peak current, 91. Haven't broken my record yet. I think 97 was my record. Anyway, that's okay. What am I missing? It's great, learned a lot. Cool. Vedran, thank you again for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And Electron Ash, good luck with your new project. But sorry, I'm going. I'm done. I'm going to go back to hand soldering, reflowing stuff. Yes. And I don't know where I'm going to put the pick and place. It's in my coffee table. I think I'm going to repurpose my coffee table and put my pick and place on that low, which will be good. And I need to brace it. I'm going to have to put braces on front and back, probably metal. It's got to be really sturdy and steel, and I might have to bolt it to the wall. I don't know. But I think that's where my pick and place is going to live, because they are loud, and I need to not be having the noise right next to me. Anyway, but I'll tell you all about it when it happens. Okay, bye. Thank you. Great chat. Appreciate everyone's time.